Dongju was a champion, a medal winner just like his friends. Each of them had earned their accolades in their respective fields, but that was Dongju's past. Now he's a low-ranking cop, demoted to patrol duty. He's so broke he has to pawn his hard-earned medals to scrape by. After selling them all, he only gets 500,000 won. He looks absolutely miserable. With the little money he gets, Dongju goes to a sign shop and orders a new sign for a noodle restaurant. Meanwhile, Dongju's older brother Man-sik, a former bronze medalist in wrestling, is also a cop, though not a high-ranking one. He's just as broke as his younger brother, even trying to stretch 51 of gas into 100, earning him a disdainful look from the gas station attendant. To make matters worse, his luck is as bad as Dongju's. His car breaks down in the middle of the road, making him late for the station. He gets chewed out by the chief, who's already irritated by some nonsense the reporters are writing about him. It's a truly terrible day for Man-sik, with a broken car and now a limp. The captain comes over to check on Man-sik and learns about Dongju's struggles, including how he's resorting to using old, worn-out tires. Man-sik explains that he's sent all his money to his wife and kids in the Philippines. Touched by his story, the captain hands Man-sik his bank card, telling him to get some new tires. But there's a catch. He wants Man-sik to bring Dongju back into the fold for a special project, busting a criminal rabbit gang operating in the Insong district. It turns out the captain wants to make use of Dongju's gold medal-winning fighting skills, figuring it's a waste of a valuable resource. Man-sik questions why he's been assigned to manage his younger brother. See, Dongju used to be a riot cop, but he was demoted to patrol duty after getting into a brawl and injuring fellow officers, all because they were taking bribes. And to top it off, the kid's got a serious attitude problem. Attitude problem? Man-sik scoffs. More like a piece of crap problem. What good is a piece of crap? Man-sik himself was a victim of Dongju's fists, having suffered a broken nose at his brother's hands. He initially refuses to take on the assignment, but the captain dangles the carrot of a possible promotion and raise from the chief if Man-sik takes on the investigation. Their third friend, Han Na, a former gold medalist in air rifle shooting, is also stuck working as a cop. To add insult to injury, she's forced to participate in a staged film shoot for the chief, so he can show off for the press, even though she hates it. The captain tells Han Na to just play along, keep the chief happy, and snap a few photos with him. Han Na resents the chief, using his authority to exploit her. But what choice does she have? A gold medalist without a real job is just destined to starve. But when she shows up decked out in her medals for the chief's publicity stunt, her colleagues at the station mock and belittle her. They sneer that someone who only got in through the back door, like her, has no real-world experience and shouldn't be allowed out in the field. They claim that no matter how hard she tries, she's nothing more than a cop who got in because of some useless medals. For Dongju's first assignment, he's so pumped that he puts on his police uniform and starts shadowboxing, only to be interrupted by his superior, Man-sik, who asks him what the heck he thinks he's doing. Man-sik makes him take off the uniform. Their mission is to go undercover as civilians and tail their target, without announcing themselves as police officers. Then, bursting with the need to pee, Man-sik orders Dongju to stay put and not move an inch. Meanwhile, the Insong Police Department is juggling their investigation of the Golden Rabbit Gang with staging the fake bust for the chief's publicity stunt. Undercover cops are everywhere, posing as electricians, bystanders, and everything in between, all to keep tabs on a low-level member of the Golden Rabbit Gang. But as they're tailing their target, an explosion rocks the area, alerting the low-level crook. He yells for his boss to run, shouting that the cops are here. Laundry Squad Captain Dae Yong spots the Golden Rabbit Gang leader on a rooftop and orders everyone to pursue him. As the gold-toothed rabbit, Sang-gon, makes his escape, he runs right past Man-sik, who's finishing up in a restroom. Just as Man-sik opens the door, Sang-gon slams it shut with a wooden plank, trapping him inside. Man-sik yells for Dongju to stop the gold-toothed rabbit. Determined to prove he's not useless, Dongju engages Sang-gon in a fight. The gold-toothed rabbit is a tough opponent. For a moment, Dongju catches his reflection in a mirror and gets distracted. Sang-gon takes advantage of the lapse in concentration and knocks Dongju unconscious. The other cops criticize Dongju, muttering about how the backdoor recruit is good for nothing. Meanwhile, Man-sik emerges from the restroom, having forgotten to zip up his fly. Back at the police station, we meet Dongju's close friend Jae Hong, another athlete given special treatment for being a professional discus thrower. His fate isn't much different from the other three. He's also subjected to the whispers and gossip of his colleagues. But Jae Hong doesn't seem to care, focused on providing for his family. While on duty escorting children across the street, A red car speeds toward the crosswalk, putting Jae Hong on high alert. He reacts quickly, pushing a child out of the way just before the car, driven by someone using fake license plates, nearly hits them. This driver is a known troublemaker in the area. Meanwhile, Captain Dae-yong chews out Man-sik and Dong-ju for letting the gold-toothed rabbit get away. He rants. The food was on the table, all you had to do was eat. Do you know how many days my team has gone without food and showers, waiting for these guys? And you, backdoor entry, pretending to be a real cop. Dong-ju winces, feeling the sting of the captain's words, but unable to argue. Later that evening, as Dong-ju is leaving the station, he spots someone he has a crush on, Han-na. He tries to sneak up and say hello, but Han-na is in a foul mood. She's complaining about a poster of herself, wondering what's so funny about it. She grumbles about how there's nothing enjoyable about working there. Frustrated, she knocks over the poster. Dong-ju rushes to pick it up and chases after her, calling out, "Steamed bun." But Han-na has her earbuds in and doesn't hear him. He catches up to her, grinning. "I've been calling you," he says. Han-na just grunts and keeps walking, annoyed that he's following her and calling her steamed bun. Han-na tells him to stop being so familiar, especially since he's been demoted. "Do you still like me?" she asks pointedly. Dong-ju, undeterred, admits that he does. But before they can talk further, Han-na's ex-boyfriend, Jong Hyeon, shows up, piquing Dong-ju's curiosity. Jong Hyeon wants to talk to Han-na, but she flatly refuses, leaving both him and Dong-ju awkwardly standing there. Jong Hyeon gives Dong-ju a quick embarrassed nod and walks away. Just then, the sign shop calls Dong-ju. He picks up the newly made sign and heads to his aunt's restaurant. Over dinner, she asks how he's doing and why he's been transferred back from Seoul. Not wanting to worry her, Dong-ju hides the truth about his fight with the corrupt officers, saying he just missed her cooking. He asks about his cousin, Jeong-il. His aunt tells him that Yong-il went to work for Jong-gu, their old boxing coach, but hasn't contacted them since. After dinner, Dong-ju goes to his cousin's room and looks at old photos of them boxing together. He feels a pang of nostalgia for those glory days. But now, as a lowly patrol officer, he knows that part of his life is over. Returning to the station, Dong-ju sees Han-na's poster lying on the floor again. He's upset that it's slightly torn, but then he smiles like a lovesick schoolboy just at the thought of her. To understand why Dong-ju is so smitten with Han-na, we have to rewind to before his final match. Han-na gave him a sticker as a good luck charm. He's treasured it ever since, keeping it as a priceless memento. He's also curious about her ex-boyfriend's sudden appearance. Why is he here? The next day at work, Han-na notices her poster has been repaired with medical tape. She knows exactly who did it. It's such a blatant yet endearing gesture. Meanwhile, Dong-ju and Man-sik are preparing to meet the new detective from Internal Affairs. They knock on the door repeatedly, almost breaking it down, but no one answers. Two female colleagues pass by, excitedly asking for autographs. Dong-ju assumes they're fans of his gold medal winning past, but they're actually starstruck by Han-na's ex-boyfriend, who's standing behind him. Man-sik chuckles at Dong-ju's self-importance. Man-sik greets Jong Hyeon warmly, while Dong-ju remains silent, clearly not happy to see him. Man-sik then learns that Jong Hyeon is the new chief of investigations. Jong Hyeon apologizes for the wait, explaining that the chief kept him a while. Dong-ju, fueled by jealousy, retorts that they've been waiting for ages. So, that's why he's here? He got promoted and came back to see Han-na. During lunch, while talking to Man-sik, Han-na arrives. Dong-ju, like a love-struck teenager, can't stop grinning at her. Man-sik glances over, noticing her, but then sees Jong Hyeon as well, sparking his curiosity. Are they back together? Suddenly, another officer confronts Jong Hyeon, accusing him of sabotaging a colleague's career, causing Captain O's team member to be transferred. Jae Hong walks in and gets dragged into the argument. You're the one who blocked his promotion. Are you happy now? You're nothing but a backstabber who sold out his teammate to get ahead. Jong Hyeon remains calm, retorting that those who take bribes deserve what they get. Captain O, unable to counter, simply warns Jong Hyeon to watch his back. After lunch, Han-na asks Jong Hyeon about the confrontation. He brushes it off, saying he's fine. He explains that he wanted to tell her yesterday that he'd been transferred to the Insong police station. Aren't you curious why I'm here? He asks. Han-na feigns indifference, not wanting to engage with her ex. She tells him he doesn't need to inform her about his job, as it's none of her business. She doesn't want to be the subject of gossip or accused of using connections to get ahead. She asks him to leave her alone, emphasizing that they are nothing to each other. Meanwhile, Dong-ju and Man-sik are on stakeout duty in a hot car. Man-sik, incredibly stingy, refuses to turn on the AC for Dong-ju, worried about fuel costs since he's broke. Suddenly, the captain drives by and tells Man-sik to get in. He has to see the chief. Man-sik frantically asks, what about his lunch and dinner? Clearly, they're both equally poor, so Dong-ju is left to fend for himself. He waits until evening with only a single bottle of water. The broken AC makes the heat unbearable, so he takes off his clothes and goes outside to splash water on his face. While doing so, a reckless driver slams into his parked car, sending Dong-ju face first into a mud puddle. Dong-ju quickly recovers, walks over to the driver, and asks him what the hell he thinks he's doing. He reaches in to open the car door, but the driver locks it and floors the gas pedal, ignoring Dong-ju's warnings that he's a police officer. For a moment, Dong-ju clings to the car in terror, yelling. The driver eventually stops, sending Dong-ju flying several feet before speeding off. As Dong-ju gets up, he stumbles upon a group of car thieves. The car thieves, unimpressed with their meager haul, toss Dong-ju's belongings out of the car. He stumbles to retrieve them, but something catches his eye. He walks back towards the spot where the car hit him, and discovers a body lying by the curb, lifeless. Man-sik receives the news and rushes to the hospital, where he finds a mud-caked Dong-ju sitting with the victim's family. Are you okay? Man-sik asks. A car slammed into my butt. What do you think? Dong-ju retorts. Where's my car? Man-sik inquires. Dong-ju deflects, pointing vaguely. Over there. Go get it yourself. He then limps away, eager to escape before his brother can ask about the damaged vehicle, knowing he has nothing to pay for repairs. The next day at the station, Man-sik is furious, searching high and low for Dong-ju, but he's nowhere to be found. Dong-ju is in the restroom, photographing his injuries. They look pretty serious. His aunt calls, worried because his cousin, Gyong-il, hasn't come home. Dong-ju tries calling Gyong-il, but there's no answer. He remembers his aunt mentioning that Gyong-il went to work for his old boxing coach. A sense of unease washes over him, and he starts searching for information. Meanwhile, Dong-ju's former coach, Jong-gu, is being celebrated at a conference at the Insong Hotel, lauded as a national hero. Dong-ju, dressed in a suit, arrives at the hotel, scanning the crowd for Jong-gu. He confronts him, demanding to know where Gyong-il is. You're the one who gave him a job. Jong-gu, with a smug grin, admits to giving him work, but claims Gyong-il took an advance on his pay and disappeared. He's probably high somewhere. And whose fault is that? Isn't it yours, dear brother? Aren't you being a hypocrite? He taunts Dong-ju, asking why he's wearing his national team suit. You have no right. We flash back to the aftermath of Dong-ju's gold medal victory. Jong-gu had pushed him to join professional MMA, claiming it was to pay for Gyong-il's medical expenses, but Dong-ju refused, wanting to retire with his gold medal and return home to his family. During a post-victory interview, Dong-ju proudly mentions his aunt and his brother. A reporter then asks about the rumors of him joining MMA. Dong-ju instantly knows who leaked that information. He denies the rumors, prompting Jong-gu to make a phone call and publicly accuse Dong-ju of using doping, a performance-enhancing drug. This incident derailed Dong-ju's life. Now Jong-gu mocks him. So proud of those medals you won with drugs, huh? But the substances Dong-ju used were permitted. Jong-gu was simply trying to exploit him. For Dong-ju, honor was more important than money. For the past 2 years, he's been trying to sue Jong-gu for what he did. Refusing to be defeated, Dong-ju maintains a rigorous training regimen, waiting for his chance to redeem himself. He runs until he's dizzy, determined to prove himself. I'll show everyone what kind of person Dong-ju is. Now, he's obsessed with finding information about the car that hit him. He's so focused that he walks right past Han-na without noticing her. During meals, he mumbles to himself, still lost in thought. While in the restroom, it hits him. He saw the car in Captain Dae-yong's files. Meanwhile, Man-sik finally locates his car. It's been stripped bare by the thieves, leaving only the shell. He's even more broke now. Dong-ju, taking advantage of everyone being at lunch, sneaks into Captain Dae-yong's 4th-floor office to search for the file on the car. Just then, Man-sik returns, asking what he's doing. Startled by Captain Dae-yong's return from lunch, Dong-ju and Man-sik quickly and awkwardly try to sneak away. But Dae-yong immediately notices his files have been disturbed. Later, in the infirmary, Dong-ju shows Man-sik his injuries and asks him to help catch the hit-and-run driver. He pulls down his pants, pointing to the imprint on his backside. See? The grill pattern matches perfectly. Dong-ju excitedly suggests that this might even lead them to the Golden Rabbit Gang. The car is on their list of purchased vehicles, but there's no buyer's name. That evening, while visiting the hit-and-run victim's family, Dong-ju receives a call that sends him rushing off. Meanwhile, Jong Hyun reviews the footage of the Golden Rabbit chase and notices something suspicious. Someone seems to have deliberately set the fire and called the ambulance beforehand. It looks like the Golden Rabbit gang has an inside man at the police station. As Man-sik heads to the parking lot to retrieve his motorcycle, he finds it gone. Dong-ju calls, telling him to come to house number 28. And by the way, I borrowed your bike. First his car, now his motorcycle. Man-sik is beyond frustrated with his troublesome brother. Jong Hyun arrives, questioning Man-sik about the Golden Rabbit chase. He asks if Man-sik noticed anything unusual, reiterating his suspicion about the fire being deliberately set. Do you know Jin-soo? Jong Hyun asks. The name rings a bell for Man-sik. Jin-soo was the victim in the recent hit-and-run case, the one who plowed into Dong-ju's backside. He remembers that Jin-soo was a customs official. Sensing something amiss, he tells Jong Hyun he'll look into it and get back to him. But he's still fuming about his stolen motorcycle. Back at the station, Man-sik receives a call from the pawn shop owner. The Silver Rabbit gang is operating in their area, and the owner knows their exact location, house number 28. The same address Dong-ju just mentioned. This pawn shop owner clearly has connections. At Han Na's apartment, she's holding onto Jin-soo's customs documents from the hit-and-run case. Suddenly, members of the Golden Rabbit gang break in, demanding the papers. Han Na retreats upstairs, retrieves her long unused firearm, loads it, and puts on ear protection. This Olympic gold medalist sharpshooter hasn't handled a gun in a while, but these thugs are in for a rude awakening. She fires a few warning shots, but they don't scare them off. They split up, trying to overpower her and grab the documents. But Han Na is no pushover. Warning shots weren't enough, so she switched to live rounds. She takes them down one by one with swift precision, proving why she's a gold medalist. Meanwhile, Jong Hyun, while investigating Jin-soo, is attacked and his car is rammed by members of the Golden Rabbit gang. They seem to know who he is. One of the thugs has a snake tattoo, reminding Jong Hyun of Captain O's warning. Watch out for snakes. Outnumbered and unarmed, Jong Hyun flees. By coincidence, Jae-hong is patrolling the area. Hearing the commotion, he investigates and recognizes the red car that's been terrorizing the Insong district. The driver speeds towards Jae-hong, unaware that he's facing a professional discus thrower. With a single spin, Jae-hong hurls a manhole cover at the car, flipping it over in spectacular fashion. Jong Hyun, still running, grabs a street sweeper's broom and snaps it in half, turning it into a makeshift weapon. He reaches the riverbank, ready to face his pursuers. These thugs picked the wrong fight. They're up against silver medalist fencer Kim Jong Hyun, known as the Magic Fencer. Come and get me, he challenges. 5 opponents? That's barely a warm-up. Meanwhile, Man-sik goes to see Captain Dae-yong to report his findings on the Golden Rabbit gang. Dae-yong, however, is more interested in a wrestling match. Beat me, and then you can talk. Faced with this unusual request and being an 80 kek wrestler, Man-sik quickly takes down Dae-yong and proceeds to explain the situation. Finally, we get to our hero, Dong-ju. He's found the Golden Rabbit gang's hideout. And luckily for him, both the Gold and Silver Rabbit gangs are there, saving him the trouble of rounding them up individually. Dong-ju confronts the Gold Rabbit, asking if he's the one who sold the car in the photo. The Gold Rabbit doesn't answer, instead flashing his gold teeth provocatively. So, you guys like playing with your teeth, huh? Fine. That gold tooth is really bothering me. I see it again, I'm pulling it out. Both the Gold and Silver Rabbits shake their heads in annoyance. Dong-ju then asks, do you know why my name is Dong-ju? Looking up at the sky without shame, leaves falling in the wind, my heart aches. That's what my mother told me. But it seems like life won't let my name rest. You guys have provoked Dong-ju's fist of justice. With that, he launches into action, taking on the entire gang. Despite being outnumbered and facing some with knives, Dong-ju is unstoppable. Old memories resurface, and with his heart still burning with passion, these thugs are no match for the former Korean boxing champion. After he single-handedly takes down the entire gang, the police arrive. Man-sik rushes in, only to be mistaken for an enemy and knocked unconscious by Dong-ju. As Dong-ju walks out, striking a heroic pose, a fellow officer asks how he managed to subdue so many people. Man-sik, having been punched by his brother yet again, vows to break Dong-ju's thumb. This police force is a collection of the top 1% of the nation's talent. After cleaning up, Dong-ju is interviewed about his solo takedown of the Golden Rabbit gang. But Man-sik still feels uneasy about the whole thing, and pulls Jong Hyun aside. As Dong-ju mentioned, this string of incidents doesn't seem like a simple hit and run. The witness who exposed the Golden Rabbit's smuggling operation died in the hit and run. Then, The thugs who attacked the station didn't steal anything except a file. Man-sik wonders what kind of file it could be. Later, as Dong-ju offers to walk Han-na home, he's confronted by a group of neighborhood women and local police who mistake him for a thug. Seeing the awkward situation, he says goodbye to Han-na and heads back. He runs into his missing cousin, Gyong-il, who has finally returned. Back at home, Dong-ju shows Gyong-il the game console he bought for him and shares some watermelon with his aunt. Before going to bed, he slips his bankbook to his aunt. Back in his room, he asks Gyong-il about the work he was doing for their former coach, but his cousin avoids the question, telling Dong-ju to mind his own business. A phone call interrupts them, and Gyong-il leaves, assuring Dong-ju that everything is fine. The chief, now basking in the glory of the Golden Rabbit bust, uses the opportunity to repair his reputation after the negative press. The athlete cops, including Dong-ju, Han-na, and Jae-hong, finally have their own dedicated office. Man-sik and Jong Hyun are also part of the team, though Jong Hyun is delayed due to personal matters. Later, Dong-ju and Man-sik interrogate the Gold Rabbit, asking who he sold the car to. However, having lost his 2 front teeth thanks to Dong-ju, his speech is rather unclear. Dong-ju notices something familiar about the Gold Rabbit's watch. It's the same one worn by the hit and run driver. Just as he asks about it, 2 other officers enter and take the Gold Rabbit away, saying the interrogation time is over. Back at their office, Man-sik and Dong-ju learn that the chief has assigned their special task force a new, important mission, implying that the Golden Rabbit case is now someone else's problem. It turns out this important mission is attending the chief's film shoot for a publicity stunt to boost his image. Ironically, he specifically requests Han-na, whose shooting skills he previously criticized, to demonstrate her abilities on camera. Fed up with being used as a prop for the chief's self-promotion, Han-na aims and shoots him, shocking everyone present. Dong-ju's team erupts in cheers, having long resented the chief's showboating. Furious, the chief orders Jong Hyun to fire Han-na immediately. Jong Hyun, however, cautions that such a move would create bad press. So the chief devises another publicity stunt, this time showcasing the department's supposedly high-quality bulletproof vests, offering himself as the test subject. The man is a master of self-serving spectacle. Despite this, Han-na still wants to resign. That evening, Dong-ju follows her as she goes out for dinner, but she ignores him. He asks why she's quitting, but she insists it's none of his business and tells him to stop liking her. Dong-ju refuses to give up on his feelings so easily. Han-na reiterates that she doesn't like him and walks away. The nosy neighbor from before appears, commenting, "Him again?" Dong-ju, already dejected, leaves without being prompted. The next day, while the team is being interviewed by reporters, Man-sik receives a call about pursuing remaining criminals, holed up in an abandoned building. Arriving at the scene, Dong-ju finds Jong Hyun already there, and can't resist a sarcastic jab. "Busy being a cop, huh?" Man-sik scolds him for being disrespectful to the person who called them in for this opportunity to showcase their skills. The team enters the building, divides the tasks, and splits up. Man-sik, however, hasn't gone far when he collapses, gasping for breath. Dong-ju rushes over, concerned, only to discover his brother is faking an injury to get revenge for the broken nose. This charade, however, alerts the criminals hiding inside, who mistake Dong-ju for a ghost. Then, they see Man-sik rolling around, grabbing and biting anyone he can reach, causing chaos. Man-sik chases after the fleeing criminals, who then destroy the bridge behind them, taunting him. Suddenly, Jong Hyun appears, leaping across the gap in a spectacular display of athleticism, leaving Man-sik stranded. Jong Hyun pursues the leader but is stabbed, triggering a flashback to a painful fencing defeat. Fortunately, Man-sik arrives just in time to block another attack, saving Jong Hyun. Dong-ju rushes Jong Hyun to the hospital, saving his life. The doctor thanks Dong-ju, saying Man-sik owes him his life, leaving Man-sik deeply touched. Meanwhile, in an abandoned warehouse, Dong-ju's younger cousin, Gyong-il, is being brutally tortured by a corrupt police officer for refusing to carry out a hit and run. Gyong-il is covered in wounds, a heartbreaking sight. Back in town, Dong-ju is busy trying to impress Han-na. For almost a month, he's been replacing streetlights around her neighborhood, earning the respect and admiration of the local supermarket owner. Dong-ju fixed all the lights around here, she exclaims. The next day at the office, an officer informs Dong-ju's team that the hit-and-run driver has turned himself in. Dong-ju rushes out to see, only to discover that it's his younger cousin, Gyong-il. Gyong-il begs Dong-ju not to tell their aunt and assures him that he can handle everything. But Dongju can't ignore the situation, especially after seeing Yang Il's injuries. He asks if their former coach, Jong Gu, is responsible. Jong Il tells him to stay out of it and gets into the police car. Dongju confronts Jong Gu, demanding to know why he's exploiting Yang Il. Jong Gu feigns ignorance, claiming he's the one dealing with Yang Il's mess. Enraged, Dongju punches him. Jong Gu retaliates, and a brawl ensues. Luckily, others intervene before Dongju makes a serious mistake. Still, Jong Gu lands a solid blow. Not wanting his aunt to worry, Dongju tells her that Yang Il has gone to Seoul for work and will be back soon. At Jin Su's funeral, Dongju offers his condolences to the grieving family. Suddenly, he remembers a crucial detail from his earlier visit to the hospital. He begins searching for someone wearing a specific watch, the one he saw on the hit-and-run driver. He asks the receptionist for a list of visitors. Learning that they were mostly customs officials, Dongju takes the visitor log and heads straight to the customs office. He goes from office to office, comparing the physiques of the officials to the image in his memory. He hasn't found anyone yet. Then he stops in front of a man and suddenly grabs his wrist. "It's you, isn't it? You're the one who hit me. I got you, you bastard." I never forget a face, especially one I've seen even just once. My memory is excellent. After confronting the man he suspects of being the hit-and-run driver, Dongju pulls down his pants to show the imprint on his backside. Who else could have done this? Take a good look. The security guards, thinking Dongju is a pervert, drag him out. Undeterred, Dongju yells after the man, "Don't forget my name." This incident leads to a call from the West Side police station to Man Sik, who exasperatedly asks, "Do you pull your pants down everywhere you go? You pervert. Get over here." Dongju insists the imprint is crucial evidence. Convinced that the customs official is the culprit, Man Sik reminds him that he needs actual proof before making accusations. As they argue, Jong Hyun arrives to check on Man Sik's injury from the previous incident. Seeing the concern from a high-ranking officer, Man Sik plays up his injury, clutching his stomach dramatically. Despite claiming he's fine, he then enthusiastically offers Jong Hyun the empty seat in their athlete's office. "Why don't you join our team?" he suggests, even asking what Jong Hyun would like to eat. Dongju, observing this blatant favoritism, objects, stating that they need a team vote before accepting new members. Jae-hong immediately agrees, but Dongju argues that Jong Hyun's fear of guns and knives disqualifies him. Jong Hyun challenges Dongju to a sparring match to prove his skills. Confidently, Dongju boasts, "I can dodge any punch thrown my way." He's immediately proven wrong, as Jong Hyun lands a painful blow, drawing a crowd of onlookers. Man Sik seizes the opportunity to start taking bets on the outcome, and everyone favors Dongju, the undisputed champion of bare-knuckle boxing. Indeed, Jong Hyun initially takes a beating, much to Dongju's amusement. But what Dongju doesn't know is that Jong Hyun was a national-level taekwondo athlete in high school. Later that evening, Man Sik encourages Dongju to eat more, commenting on his weak muscles. He wonders if Dongju lost his focus after the incident years ago. Dongju is haunted by memories of punches to the face, fearing they could instantly knock out an opponent. After dinner, Man Sik tries to convince Han Na to reconsider resigning, but she's determined to live and work freely, without constraints. Jae-hong arrives to say goodbye to Han Na, and mentions Dongju's distress, urging her to comfort him, as he's easily bruised by criticism. However, when Han Na arrives to check on Dongju, she finds him drunkenly wrestling with Man Sik. A truly disappointing sight. The next day, during lunch, Dongju asks Man Sik about the progress on the hit-and-run case. Man Sik tells him to stop wasting his time. Just then, the hit-and-run suspect appears on the news. It's Yang Il. At his aunt's restaurant, Dongju apologizes for not telling her sooner, explaining that he wanted to be sure. His aunt admits she doesn't expect much from Yang Il, blaming herself for his upbringing. However, she insists he's not capable of murder. Determined to clear his cousin's name, Dongju researches the case online, desperately searching for any clues that could exonerate him. Man Sik, now taking Dongju's concerns seriously, asks Jong Hyun to contact the prosecutor's office for information. Jong Hyun already planned to do so, but their interaction highlights the lack of respect and harmony between them. Facing his older brother, Jong Hyun pleaded for permission to investigate Jong II's case. His brother scoffed, dismissing Jong Hyun as weak and inferior, both intellectually and skillfully. He told him to go work for their father and stay out of his business. Humiliated, Jong Hyun had no desire to stay and endure further insults. However, his brother, piqued by Jong Hyun's investigation, decided to have him followed. Meanwhile, Dongju visited his younger brother, Jong II, in jail, urging him to tell the truth. "Just say you didn't do it," Dong Ju pleaded, "and I'll do everything in my power to get you out." But Jiang II seemed to have his own plan, requesting a meeting with his lawyer. Later that day, while Dong Ju searched junkyards, Man Sik confronted him about the borrowed car, due back the next evening. "You're broke, and your brother's out joyriding in my car through every junkyard in town," he exclaimed. As Dong Ju started the engine to leave, he hesitated, wanting to check one last spot. Just then, Zhang Hian called Man Sik, his tone urgent and strained, hinting at disturbing news. Back at the jail, Dong Ju's world shattered when he learned Jiang II had committed suicide. Overwhelmed with grief, Dong Ju collapsed. Zhang Hian voiced his suspicions, suggesting their brother might be involved. News of Yang Mumser's death, a promising young boxer gone too soon, quickly hit the local news. Man Sik returned Yang II's belongings to Dong Ju. Among them, a watch sent Dong Ju into a rage. Jiang II never wore a watch, and this one was identical to those worn by the killers. Consumed by fury, Dong Ju stormed off to confront Zhu Yang. He threw the watch at him, grabbing him by the collar. "Do you know who Jiang II is?" he roared. Frustrated by Zhu Yang's feigned innocence, Dong Ju unleashed a barrage of punches, fueled by grief and a thirst for revenge. He was promptly arrested for assault. After learning the watch wasn't Jiang I's, Han Na searched her deceased father's belongings. Determined to find clues about his unsolved case, she took her father's similar watch to the police chief, who, unsure about the details of the old case, suggested she visit a local pawnbroker. There, Han Na discovered that only 12 of these watches were ever made. A few had surfaced in Insung years ago, linked to a notorious smuggler named Bong Chan, who'd made a fortune trafficking US dollars. However, Bong Chan was also dead. Noticing some boxing medals, Han Na learned they were pawned by a kid with a face uglier than mine. According to the pawnbroker, following Jiang I's death, Dong Ju's friends tried to dissuade him from visiting. Fearing he'd blame himself, they urged him to let go and move on. But Dong Ju couldn't ignore the tragic circumstances surrounding his brother's death. Clutching a toy he'd given Jiang II, he was consumed by memories and regret. Meanwhile, at Zhang Haiyan's headquarters, the prison guard responsible for Jiang I's death faced punishment for his carelessness. He endured Zhu Yang's brutal retribution. With one pawn eliminated, another was ready to take his place. Zhu Yang assigned a new officer as an inside man at the Insung police station. Back in his dorm room, Dong Ju was haunted by the accident that injured Jiang II. Filled with remorse, he apologized to his deceased brother for being too aggressive during the 2018 championship fight. The next morning, Han Na woke to the clamor of real estate agents outside her house, buzzing about the neighborhood's impending transformation into a high-rise development. Half asleep, she received a call from Man Sik, urging her to come to the office immediately, because an acquaintance was there pitching divorce insurance. Upon arriving, Han Na discovered that the salesperson was her mother, who was pressured by her company's KPIs to make sales. Her mother launched into a litany of complaints about her debts, but Han Na, unmoved, told her never to come back. She flashed back to a shooting competition years ago, where her mother's boisterous self-promotion had shattered her concentration, leading to a stress-induced meltdown and a dramatic haircut in front of her mortified sponsors. Distraught, Han Na walked the streets, wanting to block out the world. Just then, Dong Ju appeared, embracing her protectively, offering a sense of security. Just as he had years ago with someone he cared about, he playfully teased her. "If you were so traumatized, how did you win all those gold medals? I'm busting my butt and only have 2. You're a natural?" Han Na called him a fool, handing him the medal he'd pawned, urging him to be strong and catch the bastard who killed his brother. The following day at the police station, Zhang Haiyan unexpectedly joined Man Sik's athlete task force. The team finally looked the part, but Dong Ju remained resentful of Zhang Haiyan, Han Na's ex. Their childish bickering continued, ending with Dong Ju flashing Han Na a flirtatious glance as he grabbed his gold medal and headed out for work. He first visited his friend, then decided to check out the customs surveillance department, only to be stopped by officers wary of his volatile nature. Seizing a moment of distraction, he slipped away to confront Zhu Yang, forcing the customs chief to deal with the situation. The sight of Zhu Yang's smug face enraged Dong Ju, fists itching to connect. He slammed his gathered evidence onto Zhu Yang's desk, but Zhu Yang remained indifferent, telling him to stay away. Dong Ju shot back. "Do you know what guilt is? You look at the sky without shame. My heart aches for you. Feel some shame, you bastard, if you're even human." He then punched the reinforced glass of Zhu Yang's office window, proclaiming, "I'm the Asian champion, the national gold medalist in boxing. Anyone who steps into my ring gets knocked out. His bravado was short-lived. Back at the task force, he received a 3.3 million won repair bill for the damaged window. Broke as a joke, and now this. He lamented. Zhang Haiyan pointed out that the double-paned reinforced glass was expensive. Does your family sell glass? Dong Ju quipped. To his surprise, Zhang Haiyan's family did. Dong Ju then faced the wrath of the chief, who berated him, jabbing a finger in his face. Dong Ju clearly hated this, but suppressed his anger, requesting to be assigned to the next flight, claiming he had business to attend to. Later, at mealtime, Dong Ju, in a seemingly disruptive move, sat in Zhang Haiyan's usual spot, and asked Man Sik about any leads from the Chinatown incident. Zhang Haiyan mentioned, remembering the license plate of the Chinese suspect's car, and having his traffic management team track its route and information. As they discussed the case, Captain O, the corrupt officer previously exposed by Zhang Haiyan, walked by throwing shade at them. So you've switched to Man Sik's team, huh? Captain O sneered. Man Sik sighed, muttering about old men acting like children. He then divided the team for their investigation into the Chinese suspects. Jay Hong paired with Dong Ju, and Han Na with Zhang Haiyan. Dong Ju immediately protested. Once in the car, he quickly usurped Han Na's front seat, claiming he wanted to learn from Sergeant Kim. He ignored Han Na's attempts to eject him, turning to Zhang Haiyan with a cloying sweetness that made Zhang Haiyan recoil. Stop being cute, he snapped. Unfortunately, their investigation into the Chinese suspects proved fruitless, meeting with hostility everywhere they went. After a wasted morning, Dong Ju and Zhang Haiyan returned empty-handed. Zhang Haiyan, having a prior engagement, promptly kicked Dong Ju out of the car, partly due to their rivalry. That evening, Man Sik, investigating the Chinese vehicle, visited the pawnbroker, armed with bribes of alcohol and snacks. He learned the current kingpin of smuggling was Kwang Seo, although someone else seemed to be encroaching on his territory. When asked who, the pawnbroker shrugged, claiming ignorance and suggesting Man Sik ask Kwang Seo himself. Man Sik showed him the watch, and the pawnbroker recognized it, recalling the ugly lady who'd asked about it earlier. Meanwhile, Han Na questioned the police chief about her father's case, learning he'd been investigating the Russian mafia and was killed by a gunshot. The mafia investigation had stalled, leaving her father's case unresolved. Following a lead on the Chinese vehicle with fake plates, Zhang Haiyan arrived at a deserted road. He spotted a suspicious figure but couldn't catch him, finding only sunflower seed shells and cigarette butts where the figure had been, as if waiting for him. Back at the task force office, Man Sik received a lead on the Chinese smugglers, but Dong Ju was nowhere to be found, fast asleep. Only the mention of Zhu Yong jolted him awake. They followed Kwang Seo to a hair salon specializing in eagle hairstyles. Kwang Seo was in distress. His newly implanted hair patches accidentally ripped off during a botched shampoo. Midway, he spotted Man Sik and Dong Ju. Man Sik announced they had questions, and Kwang Seo bolted, leading them on a chase through streets filled with flying soap bubbles, like a bubble-covered princess pursued by two bubble-blowing princes. Finally cornering him, Man Sik asked, "Why are you running like a criminal?" Dong Ju pressed, "Are you smuggling cars for the Golden Rabbits?" Kwang Seo feigned innocence, claiming to be retired. They touched his bald spot, joking that his ill-gotten gains must be hidden on his head. Threatened with hair pulling, he finally confessed. The smuggler was known as Monkey, protected by someone within Insung Customs, who allowed his shipments through unchecked. The protector was Zhu Yong. The cars were being trafficked to Liberia and Russia. Dong Ju advised Kwang Seo to eat more eggs, especially balut, for hair growth. Back at the task force, the team discussed the information via text, prompting Dong Ju to yell, "Just say it out loud." Man Sik scolded him for not understanding the need for secrecy. To secure the necessary manpower for the operation, Man Sik thought of the commissioner, but his request was immediately denied. Turning to Plan B, he summoned Kwang Seo, asking him how to lure the Chinese car smugglers into a trap. "Will my car do?" Kwang Seo scoffed at the offered vehicle. "It needs to be something flashy, not a clunker nobody wants." Jae Hong announced that Zhu Yong was scheduled to depart for Liberia soon. Kwang Seo reiterated the need for a high-end vehicle for the bait. Everyone's gaze shifted to the commissioner's car. "Why not?" They reasoned. "It's for justice. We'll borrow it and return it." They then calculated potential jail time for grand theft auto, concluding their plan was foolproof. That night, Man Sik feigned illness, successfully borrowing the commissioner's car while the security guard was distracted. Kwang Seo warned that Monkey was paranoid and never met face-to-face for transactions. preferring to drop off the vehicle at a designated location. Once the location was known, Kwang SEO would contact them and then leave. While waiting in ambush, Dongju and Zhang Haiyan went for snacks. Dongju strategically paid first, leaving Zhang Haiyan to be picked up by Jae Hong, while he gleefully drove off with Han Na. At the drop-off, two of Monkey's men arrived with the car and started disabling the GPS tracker. Dongju recognized one of them and reached for his phone to take a picture, but accidentally honked the horn. To avoid suspicion, Han Na threw herself on Dongju, feigning a passionate embrace, much to his delight. Meanwhile, the commissioner, frantic over his missing car, raged. It's only been one day. Reaching Monkey's base, the team donned tactical gear and prepared to raid. Despite being outnumbered, the five boldly entered, ready to apprehend Monkey and his crew. Suddenly, another group of officers appeared. Captain O, wanting to steal the credit, had followed them after Dongju's earlier outburst had inadvertently tipped him off. Fortunately, the combined police force was now more evenly matched against Monkey's men, and a fierce brawl erupted. Man Sik, though aging, fought fiercely, landing solid blows. Zhang Haiyan, attempting to jump into the commissioner's car, was stopped by a fellow officer concerned about the vehicle. Man Sik, while verbally agreeing, proceeded to slam another thug's head into the car, demonstrating his priorities, the commissioner's car above all else. Amidst the chaos, Monkey was spotted. He and his men began throwing wrenches at the police, who retaliated in kind. Seeing the situation turn sour, Monkey tried to escape, but Jae Hong blocked his path while Han Na, armed with a shotgun, picked off his men. Monkey, desperate, attempted to escape on a rope, only to collide with Man Sik. He then commandeered the commissioner's car and sped off. To stop him, Han Na rammed Monkey's car with another vehicle, totaling the commissioner's prized possession. Zhang Haiyan pursued Monkey, only to witness him being fatally stabbed by an unknown assailant. He gave chase but was overpowered and left sprawled on the ground as the assailant escaped with his accomplice. The next day, the police investigated Monkey's workshop. Man Sik, clutching the damaged license plate, worried about the lost lead. Then, the commissioner arrived, his focus solely on his stolen car. Seeing its wrecked state, he flew into a rage, beating Man Sik with a mangled license plate. The younger officers discreetly slipped away. Zhang Haiyan, observing the forensics team, noticed they'd found sunflower seed shells, identical to those he'd seen earlier. The commissioner, still reeling from the loss of his car, likely had even more to worry about now. But facing the press, the commissioner boasted about his own personal sacrifice. Monkey's crew was arrested for car smuggling. Dongju was certain Zhu Yong was watching the news, which also highlighted the discovery of drugs and precious stones in the raid. Zhang Haiyan suspected Russian mafia involvement, escalating the case beyond simple smuggling. Han Na then presented documents, revealing the hit-and-run victim was Jin Su, who had been investigating Zhu Yong's cargo manifests, and was eliminated after uncovering suspicious activity. Meanwhile, Zhu Yong's boss warned him that the police were closing in, having inquired about his Liberia trip. Zhu Yong realized it was Dongju's team, and instructed his boss to tell the police he was being sent to Liberia, not going voluntarily, to deflect suspicion. Annoyed by Zhu Yong's commanding tone, his boss began to lecture him, only to have his finger broken by a furious Zhu Yong. Dongju. Zhu Yong seethed. I'm being serious. This disrespect is unacceptable. He threatened his boss with further consequences. Leaving the office, Zhu Yong made a call, instructing someone to contact the Philippines and Russia immediately. As plans had changed, Man Sik's team located the warehouse where goods were being shipped to Russia. As they began their search, Man Sik received a call. Zhu Yong was departing at 7:00 p.m. Dongju and Zhang Haiyan raced to the customs office to intercept him. Zhu Yong remained unfazed, taunting Dongju to stop him legally. And by the way, he whispered, Jiang II didn't die because of me, but because of you. He insinuated that Jiang II would still be alive if Dongju hadn't interfered. They pursued Zhu Yong, who changed course towards the airport. At the warehouse, Man Sik found the car that had hit Dongju. He instructed Jae Hong to alert the police, while he and Han Na went after Zhu Yong. Dongju spotted Zhu Yong, telling Zhang Haiyan to issue a warrant, while he parkoured across rooftops in pursuit. Man Sik and Han Na, meanwhile, expertly navigated pedestrian crossings to catch up. As Han Na stood in the road to block Zhu Yong, Dongju, with a jacket wrapped around his fist, launched himself like a human projectile, slamming into Zhu Yong's car. You can mess with anyone, he thought, but not the woman I care about. Despite being thrown several meters, Dongju, incredibly, staggered to his feet. confronted Ju Yong, declaring, "You can't escape," before collapsing dramatically, adding, "I'm not opening my eyes until I get 200 million won in compensation." After a blatant display of influence. No money, no talking. The suspect linked to the customs murder is rearrested. Jong Hyeon begins interrogating Ju Yong about the murder. Throughout the questioning, Ju Yong refuses to confess, as if stalling for someone to rescue him. Suddenly, Jong Hyeon's older brother arrives from the prosecutor's office, shocking everyone. He has Ju Yong released, enraging Dong Ju. A new detective informs Man-sik. The customs case has been handed over to the prosecutor's office. We're powerless to stop our suspect from leaving. Jong Hyeon confronts his brother, who replies, "I'm just following orders. You think I want to do this?" Han Na, intrigued by Ju Yong's watch, asks him where he got it. All the victims and suspects in Ju Yong's cases wore the same watch. Ju Yong replies, "Probably just a shared interest." As he tries to approach her, Jong Hyeon intervenes. While everyone is distracted, Dong Ju tries to attack Ju Yong, but Man-sik stops him. Dong Ju shouts, "I'm going to put you away, you dirtbag. Run if you can." While yelling, Dong Ju suddenly loses consciousness and begins bleeding from the nose. His vision blurs, and he sees Ju Yong's face. "Damn it, I want to punch him, but I'm too weak." Jong Hyeon's brother, curious, asks Ju Yong, "Who are you connected to that you can get a senior official to release you? Are you a protege, a subordinate, or an acquaintance?" Ju Yong remains silent, wiping Dong Ju's blood off his sleeve. At the hospital, Dong Ju is diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury. Man-sik scolds him. "Serves you right for not listening and causing trouble. You should get your mouth sewn shut, you talk too much." The others tell Han Na to stay and watch over Dong Ju, because he's as obedient as a puppy when she clears her throat. Back at the station, they learn that Jae Hong from the prosecutor's office has seized all the documents related to Ju Yong's case, including the car, implying an attempt to destroy evidence from the Jinsu hit and run, and the Golden Rabbit and Monkey cases. Man-sik wonders, what influence does Ju Yong have? At the hospital, while caring for Dong Ju, Han Na looks at the sticker she gave him, and remembers how Dong Ju smiled like a child while looking at her picture, after the national shooting competition years ago. However, a scandal erupts, and people begin to turn against Han Na, throwing away the steamed buns she endorses. Dong Ju heartbrokenly picks up each one, only to be caught by her. He truly adores Han Na. He then comforts her, saying, "I'll dispose of these for you." He even confesses his feelings behind her back, saying, "I like you a lot." He's endearingly clueless. Han Na secretly enjoys the attention. When she hears Dong Ju is upset about losing a match, she brings him her gold medal sticker to cheer him up, encouraging him to break free from the cycle of defeat. Suddenly, Dong Ju grabs her phone, preventing Han Na from taking her sticker. He accidentally pushes her onto the bed. They almost kiss before a nurse interrupts them. Though a little embarrassed, Han Na seems to enjoy the moment. As she leaves, Jong Hyeon arrives to meet Han Na, inviting her for coffee to discuss how Ju Yong is having her followed. Han Na isn't too concerned, simply stating that they've broken up and asking Jong Hyeon to respect their boundaries. Being targeted is fine, because she can use herself as bait. Meanwhile, at the prosecutor's office, Ju Yong is quickly released, acting like he owns the place. Jae Hong reads the report and learns that Ju Yong only received administrative penalties for his actions, deemed minor offenses. Man-sik is certain someone powerful is protecting him. The investigation reveals that Ju Yong is from Insung. His family died in an accident when he was young, and he was raised by his uncle. He has no other family or friends, owning only a rented house and a car. But what nobody knows is that Ju Yong's mansion is full of luxury cars. He chooses the most expensive one, and drives recklessly to a car junkyard, calling to confirm his partner is in position. At the hospital, while Dong Ju is being examined, he sees a news report about a supercar speeding recklessly through the city the night before. Han Na realizes it's one of the stolen cars from the smuggling operation. Dong Ju confronts Ju Yong directly, saying, "Doing illegal things and not getting fired is impressive. You must be eating well to pull off big things like that, huh?" Dong Ju wants him to know that once he's in the boxing ring with him, he'll only be at peace when one of them has won. However, because the doctor told him to eat well, Dong Ju is tired of eggs and treats himself to a homemade barbecue. Coincidentally, Man-sik drops by and catches his brother eating alone, so he joins in. This meat is amazing. Soon, all of Jae Hong's vegetables are gone. To avoid detection, Man-sik sprays air freshener, saying, "That should cover up the smell." Han Na, meanwhile, has been following the injured Dong Ju. Seeing that it's just the two of them, Dong Ju pretends he can't pick up his food, hoping Han Na will feed him, but it's not that easy. Remembering being followed by Ju Yong, and suspecting it's because she reviewed the customs documents compiled by the late Lee Jin-soo. Han Na confronts Ju Yong, handing him the documents as if to say, "Do whatever you want with them." Meanwhile, at the police station, Dong Ju and Jong Hyeon argue about Han Na being followed. Jong Hyeon learns that she just came from seeing Ju Yong. She tells them she went to find some important clues linked to Ju Yong, earning her praise from Dong Ju, who expresses his affection openly in front of everyone, making them uncomfortable. Ju Yong receives news that the customs warehouse was destroyed, and the Silver Rabbit, having failed, was executed by the gang leaders from the Philippines and Russia. Now the real masterminds are revealed. The police are also alerted to a new drug trafficking operation in the area, selling a drug called candy. By following this candy trail, they hope to uncover the people behind Ju Yong. The producer of this candy is nicknamed the Devil, a man over 1.8 meters tall, but their nationality, age, or name are all unknown, and no one has ever seen his face. However, the Devil is actually a woman from the Philippines. She has come to Korea to deal with the Korean, who made a cheap imitation of her candy. First, she forces him to try her candy, and then gives him a lethal dose. Remembering that he abuses women, she kills him without hesitation. To wipe out the operation, the candy queen starts pouring gasoline. As she waits for her getaway car, she's surprised to find that the police have tracked her down. While setting the timer on her bomb, she is ambushed by unknown thugs, who seem to want to eliminate the entire operation. Despite her small size, she manages to stab one of them. Just as the police are about to arrive, Dong Ju appears and takes down the thug. The candy queen pretends to be injured and weak, so Dong Ju rescues her. The microwave detonates the bomb. Jong Hyeon realizes someone deliberately set the fire and shouts for everyone to run. Dong Ju, to save the stranger, throws them both out the window, desperately trying to hold on to the woman. Seeing Dong Ju's efforts to save her, the candy queen seems to fall in love with him. Meanwhile, the Russian smuggling boss, Leo, is purging traitors. He brutally executes his disloyal comrades. Suddenly, a child appears and shoots at Leo, but Leo isn't angry. He tells the child not to carry a gun, warning him that he'll regret it like Leo does. Then he lets the child leave. At the police station, the candy queen feigns weakness, falsely claiming a tall man over 1.9 meters strangled her. She even pretends to cry. Dong Ju, based on her statement, doesn't suspect her. Han Na, who brings her a change of clothes, notices that the candy queen isn't very injured and begins to have suspicions. Man-sik believes she is the only surviving witness who needs to be protected, so he assigns Dong Ju and Han Na to guard her. Suddenly becoming a prisoner in someone else's home makes her uncomfortable. Dong Ju, having the opportunity to be alone with his crush, pours coffee and flatters Han Na constantly, then starts cooking dinner for them. Dong Ju's favorite national team style, kimchi stew. However, the candy queen becomes jealous because Dong Ju does everything for Han Na first. To interfere, she starts talking to Dong Ju, knowing exactly what to say, causing Dong Ju to suddenly become very talkative, making Han Na a little jealous. That night, while sleeping, Han Na sees Dong Ju tossing and turning. Remembering the doctor's warning that Dong Ju may have trouble sleeping after the brain injury, she gently cares for him so he can sleep better. Coincidentally, the candy queen also sees this scene, thinking, "That's pretty sweet." The next morning, while taking a shower, Han Na is worried because Dong Ju is too silent. She goes in to check on him, only to find he's trying to prank her, making her blush and telling him to shower quickly and stop messing around. The candy queen comments, "You two look really good together." Han Na says they're not dating and aren't related, making the candy queen feel, "Great, that means I have a chance with Dong Ju. What woman wouldn't like a cool cop like him?" But because they have work, they have to go to the station first. Han Na is told she will receive special care from the 4 police officers there. At the Insung police station award ceremony, Han Na gets tired from standing in the sun for too long, causing Dong Ju to worry and use his hand to shield her, as if to protect her. This reminds Han Na of all the times Dong Ju has been there to protect her, afraid that she would get hurt. She also remembers him acting like a puppy as he buys her water because she got sunstroke. Han Na isn't getting sunstroke, she's falling in love. Dong Ju is pulled back by her, who said, "I want that drink instead." Because of this, Dong Ju is sent to the infirmary, smiling like he's the one who's got sunstroke, or more precisely, is being infatuated. Man-sik comments, "What kind of national athlete is so weak? He's always in the hospital. Back to the investigation. Jae-hong doesn't find anything unusual in the seized items. There are no private calls. Ju-young definitely knows what the police are doing. Remembering chasing Ju-young before, Dong-ju brings Han-na to investigate with him, certain that there must be some clues in that area. After imagining Ju-young throwing his phone, Dong-ju follows the direction of the throw and finds half of a flip phone. Suddenly, he becomes disoriented due to his brain injury. Han-na gives him a bottle of water to wash his face, and he realizes something. Could the other half of the phone have fallen into the sewer? He starts following the sewer drain, arousing Han-na's curiosity. He lies passed out on the sewer cover. Dong-ju had gotten his hand stuck in the drain and could not remove it. Out of options, Han-na has to find someone to help. As soon as Han-na leaves, Jong Hyun appears and asks, "Did something happen between you two?" Since it's personal, Dong-ju only shows off his hand with, "Thank you," written on it by Han-na. Seeing that Dong-ju won't reveal anything, Jong Hyun gets jealous and leaves him to suffer. "Burn in the sun, you idiot." After analyzing the fingerprints on the recovered phone, the forensic scientist confirms that they belong to Ju-young, and the team rejoices. We can restore it and find the contact list. Game over, he's done. After this case, Dong-ju doesn't forget to visit his aunt, helping her clean up the graffiti that kids drew on the wall. He asks who did it, warning them not to hide because he's a police officer. But to teach the kids a lesson, Dong-ju plays games with them, treats them to ice cream, and promises a reward for anyone who confesses to graffiti. Because Dong-ju often stops by to help, his aunt tells him to visit more often. Before he can go, Han-na's mother arrives to give Dong-ju a humidifier, hoping he'll look out for her daughter. As soon as Dong-ju brings it inside, Jong Hyun produces a more expensive, high-end humidifier. Jae-hong tells Dong-ju to throw his away. Meanwhile, the Candy Queen is trapped with the police, unable to do anything but pace because she's surrounded. Because her mother visited the station to sell insurance, Han-na confronts her, asking why she's trying to solicit clients there. "What can I do? I'm under pressure to meet my sales quota." Han-na is speechless because her mother cares more about money than her father's death. After leaving her mother's, Han-na stops by the supermarket to buy a few things. The supermarket owner sees her buying such a big sausage and assumes she has a new puppy. But Han-na proudly says it's Dong-ju. On the way home, Han-na is stopped by Jong Hyun, who asks, "Did you see your mother?" Han-na doesn't want anything to do with Jong Hyun, telling him that even just his contacting her mother makes her uncomfortable. Jong Hyun sees the pink sausage she bought, and remembers Dong-ju also mentioning that he wants it. Also, having seen Dong-ju following Han-na like a puppy, he realizes why she wants to keep her distance. As soon as she enters her house, the three of them are surprised to see Man-sik, who informs them to go to Bukgu Port to arrest the devil, who is the kingpin of the candy drug operation. They head to Bukgu Port, unaware that the devil is just the one selling the fake candy, known to be called Bongbil, and making a type of candy in Bukgu Port. While talking about candy, Man-sik pulls out a candy bar for everyone to eat to keep them awake, while acting in the middle of the night. Han-na is curious how that strange girl remembered that. Man-sik said that Dae-yong confirmed it, so they should just act according to the plan. Dong-ju gets excited and states he will find the clues to make this evil person rot in prison for the rest of his life. But after waiting until morning, they only see a man with long hair and over 1.8 meters high. He notices he's being followed and quickly runs to the boat, while also waving goodbye to Dong-ju's team. Seizing the opportunity to show off, Dong-ju and Jong Hyun compete to see who can jump the farthest. But Dong-ju botches the jump and falls into the sea, unable to swim. Jae-hong has to throw him a life preserver. Jong Hyun steals Dong-ju's chance to be the hero. He's no longer the MVP. Without any clothes to change into, Dong-ju has to wear an embarrassingly unfashionable outfit. He starts yelling at the others, accusing them of prioritizing achievements over saving lives. "Don't act so tough, then start crying when things go wrong," says Jae-hong. Dong-ju thinks he's being retaliated against, but only over the stolen bit of vegetables. Jae-hong now knows the culprit who ate his vegetables. After Han-na and Jae-hong investigate, Jong-hong informs Dong-ju that these people are not the real devil and don't know anyone named the devil or Ju-yong. To gather more evidence, Dong-ju asks for permission to take some hair from the long-haired guy. The police also began to collect the ingredients used to make the candy drug, mainly painkiller ingredients used in drug production. With this, we can make the biggest case since the founding of the country. Hearing this, the police officers are happy and celebrate, certain they'll get a promotion. After escorting the long-haired guy back to the station and celebrating, Dong-ju runs into a girl who seems a bit wild. Jong Hyun catches her, and she is immediately smitten with him. She even hugs him tightly. Man-sik likely thinks he's hit the jackpot. The girl turns out to be Man-sik's daughter, so he is already on her way to win over the father. How convenient. Then the three of them start to tease each other. After they calm down, Jong-a sees Jong Hyun working alongside Han-na and gets a little jealous. She is dragged away by her father for staring and is handed over to a colleague and ordered to cuff her if she runs. Then Jong-a suddenly has to stay with the queen. While Man-sik is dressed looking sharp and fashionable, he asks that he prepare himself for broadcasting to look more awesome, since he caught a large drug crime. While Man-sik is being interviewed, Jong Hyun brings a report about the revenue of Than Not Hyven. It was shown that even with the extremely high revenue, they deliberately declared bankruptcy, which Han Na was investigating. This confirmed that it had been the T company, which also owned the boat that was discovered transporting the drugs that morning, and that this company was managed by Jong-gu's Janine Security Company. This showed that the drug cargo was approved through the false shipment of frozen foods by Ju Yong. Not stopping there, Jong Hyun also reveals that the representative of the T Group, Song Tae, is an even more formidable character than his father, as he is the mayor of Deok-ju. The station chief often goes golfing with this mayor. Now they understood why Ju Yong was able to escape so easily. Suddenly, Jae Hong realizes something. Dae Young's team knew about this press conference, but gave the spotlight to Man-sik, as if using him as a shield. Man-sik, embarrassed and angered, tries to kick Dae Young, but hurts himself instead. Man-sik asks Dae Young when he knew this case involved the mayor, and the two start fighting in front of the station chief. The chief asks who investigated the T Group, and Man-sik desperately wants to punch the guy. Ju Yong is called to task for failing to handle things properly and allowing his network to be exposed. He was told to clean up the mess, but the Deok-gu mayor is now facing charges related to the biggest drug trafficking case in the country. Ju Yong sees the mayor as nothing more than a pawn he uses and abuses. Ju Yong demands that the mayor clean up this mess, or he will not let him off the hook. Beside Ju Yong is the coach who used to train Dong-ju. Now it's clear why Yong-il was used and killed to implement a few new plans. Ju Yong asks the coach for a few men who are discreet. Meanwhile, Man-sik blames his team for abandoning him. They all claim they were only supporting him from behind for investigation purposes, thinking it was going to be easy. To atone, they shove meat into Man-sik's mouth, using the slogan, "Small sacrifices contribute to big things," to comfort him. After the meal, Man-sik, who needs to pee, is about to call someone when he's attacked. Dong-ju finds Man-sik bleeding. Ju Yong had his people knock Man-sik unconscious, and used Man-sik's gun to fire shots into nearby residential buildings, causing public outrage. At this time, Han-na receives a report from forensics that the man who died at the Devil's site and the blood on the girl's clothes matched perfectly, only possible through close-range contact. They also found epithelial cells from the addict, making Han-na suspicious of the woman she is guarding. Meanwhile, the Candy Queen gleefully watches the news of the T Group being investigated for involvement in the biggest drug distribution case in the country. Jong-a recognizes her. She saw her on the plane with her when she was coming back from the Philippines, under the name Yeon-ha. Yeon-ha just laughs and asks if she saw the candy. When Dong-ju and Man-sik return to their residence, it was discovered that the residence has exploded, implying that Yeon-ha has intentionally destroyed the place to facilitate her escape. Man-sik makes a promise to find his daughter. Meanwhile, Jong-a is oblivious that she went along with a dangerous figure. While everyone is busy searching for Jong-a, they finally find her eating ice cream at a shop and being questioned by the police for not being able to pay for her ice cream. Man-sik is overjoyed and asks his daughter where Yeon-ha is. Jong-a replies that she has already left. Suddenly, a package is delivered to Dong-ju, but no one knows who sent it. Inside is Man-sik's six-shooter, and one bullet is missing as if it's aimed at someone. Dong-ju's aunt calls him, and the person on the other end delivers the line Dong-ju once said to Ju Yong. "One moment of carelessness will cause you to be hit immediately in the boxing ring." Ju Yong has intentionally targeted Dong-ju's last remaining family member as revenge, and warns Dong-ju not to touch him. In the dark, rainy night, Dong-ju walks alone, remembering his mother's funeral and the sight of his aunt lying injured on the ground, and throws a mighty punch into Ju Yong's face. Just as Ju Yong receives a shipment of smuggled gold at the Korean port, all the large gold bars are hidden inside shoeboxes in the back. He hired carriers to do the move for him, but in his opinion, the fewer dirty rats who knew about this, the better. To that end, He and the carriers would be eliminated immediately after the transportation was finished. Dong-ju shows up to confront Ju Yong and delivers a powerful blow for killing his aunt. The punches represent the frustration and anger that Dong-ju has had to endure all this time. I should have beaten you to a pulp before. After finishing his deed, Dong-ju immediately runs back to his aunt's house to eat the snacks she had prepared. His fellow officer guessed where Dong-ju was and found him, asking him why he acted so rashly. But so what? How could Dong-ju endure it when his only family member was killed before his eyes? Because of this, Dong-ju is also warned. Ju Yong's injuries are extensive, and it may take 24 weeks to recover. Everyone thinks the only way to keep Dong-ju from facing excessive punishment is to fire him. But because of Dong-ju's influence, this special task force of athlete investigators may be disbanded as well. After Dong-ju arrives at the station, he learns from Jae Hong that Man-sik has been enduring the station chief, using him as a form of amusement, trying to plead for a lesser sentence to remain. Dong-ju goes to see Man-sik and asks why he's drinking. Because of this idiot younger brother. The chief wrestled me until my back was scratched up. Because of the scarf his wife gave him. Man-sik says that it is a treasure that allows him to overcome his tiredness and difficulties. Treasures can't be changed. Moreover, currently, since they cannot expose Ju Yong's crimes, Man-sik encourages Dong-ju that he cannot quit. How can we let him run rampant out there? After going to the hospital, Hannah has been waiting for Dong-ju because she knows he'll need some things to change into when seeing his aunt. After all, his boyfriend is somewhat weak. Hannah yells, "The team hasn't been disbanded, so stop being so depressed." Then she puts on her headphones, as if encouraging Dong-ju. Only Hannah can instantly make him happy. Back at the police station, Man-sik's team also receives some reports containing information about Yeon-ha, who brought Young-ae to burn down the house and ran away. It is also known that she has many other fake identities. Someone provided Yeon-ha with fake names and phone numbers, which are being investigated. The officer Dong-ju has returned and asked the team leader, "What are you planning on fooling Man-sik with this time?" The news has been fooling him since the newspapers up until now haven't done enough to prevent Dong-ju from acting recklessly in the new investigation. The others quickly understand each other and don't reveal the target being investigated to him. This time, only Man-sik and Jong Hyeon are investigating the seller of disposable phone SIMs. Seeing these people investigate without inviting him, Dong-ju, like a child, follows and demands to join them. Man-sik assigns him another task. Keep quiet, because if you're so hot-headed, how can you solve the case? Jong Hyeon says, "Better to cause trouble for us than for others." And with that, Dong-ju is allowed to participate in the investigation. First, the team has to find the fake phone dealer. The most familiar character that Man-sik can find is the bald Gwang-si. Seeing the police in front of him, he only has to confess that there is a person who specializes in collecting fake identities of others by working as a tour guide, so that they can take photos of foreign passports, making it convenient to resell them to fake phone and SIM dealers. The person taking these photos is paid 10,000 won for the document. To investigate who is at the top of the fake phone number ring, the tour guide is brought back to the station for questioning. All night long, this guy is interrogated by Dong-ju, not allowed to sleep for even a bit, and gets water thrown in his face whenever he falls asleep, ordered to find the fake phone dealer. Until the morning, seeing Dong-ju still so enthusiastic, everyone is worried if he's pushing himself too hard. When the tour guide recognizes the fake phone leader, the police then start looking for people who were previously involved with him, going to their houses and asking if they have seen Yang. It's hard to say if these police officers are doing the follow-up or asking for information. Meanwhile, at the hospital, the Candy Queen comes to see Ju Yong. Seeing that he looks so haggard, she feels pity and gives him some things so he can recover sooner. After recovering for a while, Ju Yong is finally discharged from the hospital. On the way home, he asks Dong-ju's old coach if there is any place nearby to buy fruit. At the police station, Dong-ju receives a call from the hospital. He and Hannah rush over only to find that Ju Yong is already there. Dong-ju throws away the basket of fruit he bought. "I don't need that cheap stuff. You shot people, and then come here to pretend to be a good person." Hannah just looks at Ju Yong's hand and knows that because he can't handle the 6-shooter, he often injures his hand. Dong-ju openly curses Ju Yong for being scum. "If you're so tough, let's play fair." But with these gangsters, playing fair on the concrete ground is out of the question. Dong-ju is about to hit him a few more times when Hannah stops him, telling Ju Yong to leave with his fruit basket. He also didn't forget to say to Hannah, "If you're so good at shooting, please teach him if you have a chance, and he will definitely hit the bullseye." Hannah, infuriated, throws the basket of rotten fruit at his face. "I think you should take this stuff home and add some vitamins to your brain." Dong-ju can't help but admire his crush. "I like you so much." Not loving you is such a waste. It's all your fault. Dong-ju is head over heels in love. Suddenly, the doctor calls him back to change his bandage, because Dong-ju has been injured and active, and warns him that if he continues, his hand may curl up like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. The next day, Man 6's team continues to wait for the fake phone dealer. When Yang walks past, Man 6 calls him by his nickname, and he stops in his tracks. Once again, they play cat and mouse through the streets. Back at Yang's office, Jong Hyun discovers that he is making up different fake identities and selling them off. When asked who he sells the burner phone numbers to, he doesn't answer. Dong-ju and Man 6 take him back to his childhood and make him play merry-go-round. Kwang-se, for repeatedly revealing information to the police, is recaptured by the Korean smuggling boss, Leo. One thought for transcendence, two thoughts to bring Guangxi to God. He holds the gun and sends Guangxi to see his ancestors. The gunshot quickly attracts the attention of Hannah and Jae Hong, who are investigating nearby. They immediately chase after the suspects. But while speeding down the street, Leo and his partner do a crazy drift and shoot out Hannah's tires, causing them to lose the boss. Meanwhile, Jong Hyun discovers the third boss in Korea's largest drug ring, Bake. These men all expand their smuggling network through a single person, Ju Yong. Man 6 thinks it will take months to investigate this group, and the team may be disbanded by then. He also has some kind of relationship with the station chief. Dong-ju isn't afraid, despite the mayor and station chief connections. He wants to find the evidence to put Ju Yong in prison. While they are discussing, the station chief drops by, startling them and causing them to clean up the plans they had just discussed. The station chief tells Dong-ju that he seems stubborn and arrogant, but wants to take some pictures for the newspapers, and other matters can wait. As for Ju Yong, he has gathered 3 smuggling bosses who have territory in 3 countries, preparing to do a big business deal that can fill the bottomless pockets of these 3 smugglers. That night, Dong-ju's team receives news that they will be removed from the investigation. Man 6 asks Dong-ju, why did everything become like this? Dong-ju can't hold it in, and can't believe he's put everyone else in a difficult position, so that they can no longer work on the case. The disciplinary hearing for Dong-ju takes place, making everyone anxious. Fortunately, he only received a suspension. Remembering all the accusations, threats, and challenges from Ju Yong and his oath to respect the rules during competitions, Dong-ju decides to leave the disciplinary office and disappears, shocking everyone. Hannah feels a sense of disappointment, thinking Dong-ju is about to do something foolish. And she is right. Dong-ju has gone to see the security chief of the J9 company, who is also Ju Yong's longtime coach. The team loses contact with Dong-ju for 3 days. He is not at the hospital, and he is not at work. Until they reach the office, Man 6 sees Dong-ju hiding like a puppy under the table. Seeing his face, he can't contain his emotions. This kid is causing trouble again, right? You're all grown up, but you still act without thinking, making everyone sick. We spent days looking for you. In everyone's eyes now, Dong-ju is like a younger brother who only knows how to cause trouble and doesn't think. Even Hannah is tired of him and leaves the office. Dong-ju, despite being injured, follows Hannah. Hannah expresses how disgusted she is with Dong-ju and asks him why he is following her. Dong-ju takes out the headphones she gave him and asks, I don't have anywhere to go today. Can I sleep at Hannah's house? This makes Hannah even more disgusted and asks, are you always like this? Do you think you can just act clueless, clingy, and smile like an idiot, and everything will be okay? Hannah does not want to be clung to by a useless person and tells Dong-ju to leave. Dong-ju can only walk away alone, not even daring to go back to the dormitory. Man 6 is curious, where someone with no home to go to can eat and sleep, and then Dong-ju stops coming to work. The police chief calls Man 6 to tell him that the team will not be disbanded. Man 6 is overjoyed but doesn't understand why until the chief mentions, didn't Dong-ju tell you? It turns out that to prevent Man 6's special task force from being disbanded and suspended, Dong-ju went directly to Ju Yong to settle everything like a man. The grudges between them should be settled between them only. Dong-ju didn't want to drag anyone else into this. Of course, Ju Yong agreed on the condition that he could endure the corresponding number of blows. When this is recounted by Man 6, Hannah realizes that she misunderstood and abandoned Dong-ju when he needed her most. She immediately goes to the gym Dong-ju frequents, but Dong-ju is nowhere to be found. No matter how much Hannah calls, Dong-ju doesn't want to answer, and only looks at his ringing phone. All along, even if it was a misunderstanding, Dong-ju no longer dares to face Hannah after being scolded by her. Suddenly, Dong-ju has a nosebleed. He rushes to the bathroom and remembers what the doctor told him, asking if he's been experiencing dizziness or difficulties. Dong-ju is diagnosed with a minor traumatic brain injury, due to repeated blows, and is advised to seek treatment soon. Since Dongju's disappearance, Hannah has missed him terribly. She even named the dog at the convenience store after Dongju. Lately, the dog hasn't been feeling well, and the owner says he hasn't been eating. But he'll eat if Hannah feeds him. Day after day, Hannah texts Dongju, threatening to ignore him, but receives no response. This time, when she returns, she encounters the wandering puppy squatting and petting the little Dongju dog. Standing in front of Hannah, Dongju still looks so pitiful. Hannah can't help but taunt him. What kind of champion allows himself to get so beaten up? All thanks to his coach for beating him to a pulp. Dongju says he's really good at taking hits, so it doesn't matter even if he's bruised all over. As he prepares to leave, Hannah stops him. Are you just going to take the hits and be done with it? You haven't caught that jerk yet, and you're just going to run away? However, there is no giving up in Dongju's vocabulary. No matter how beaten up he gets, he can still stand up and keep taking the hits. It is for this very reason that Hannah likes Dongju, and the two of them move forward and share a healing kiss. After kissing, Dongju prepares to leave. Hannah asks, "Where are you going? Aren't you staying here with me? You don't have anywhere else to go." Dongju thinks that makes sense, so he ends up staying at Hannah's house for the foreseeable future. He even demands a French kiss in the morning. Currently, the team has a minor assignment to teach elementary school students life skills at the police station. Each person has their own specialty. Man-Sik teaches CPR. Hannah teaches the kids how to shoot. Jong-hoon teaches sword fighting, but one of the kids plays dirty, so he takes it a bit too seriously and teaches the kid a lesson, scaring him so much that he runs back to tell his mother. Perhaps Jae-hong has it easiest, because he only needs to throw discs. As for Dongju, to atone, he has to go see the chief and massage him. The chief feels great after his first massage from him, and asks Dongju where he learned to massage. Ah yes, from the massage master brand, Korean's #1 puncher. The chief advises him to quit being a cop and become a masseuse instead. When the mayor arrives, Dongju is allowed to return to his team. Seeing Dongju back, the two teammates who had been blaming him only yesterday jumped and hugged him. Do these three look scary to you? But seeing that his face looks so rosy and fresh, Man-Sik wonders if he's been taking some health supplements. Dongju just looks at Hannah, causing everyone to wonder. He's smiling like a puppy after kissing that girl yesterday. Hannah pulls Dongju aside and tells him to be careful, and not to reveal that they are secretly dating. But Dongju is the one in control now, not Hannah. Dongju asks her to meet him at her house tonight, and he will bring his things over. The excited puppy goes to the gym to retrieve his things, only to find that his poetry collection is gone. It turns out that the drug queen stole it, because she thought it was interesting and enjoyed the feelings of romantic poetry. The boss from China hears this and proudly shows off his chest tattoo, but the drug queen is not interested. Boss Leo thinks it's disgusting, nauseating, and unpleasant. When Ju-young arrives, he's asked when the goods will arrive. The men are impatient. Ju-young says there will be something interesting to see. The customs clearance is not a problem. It's the transportation that's the problem, and has caused a delay. The bosses wonder why they continue to let that cop Dongju live. Ju-young says he wants to see him squirm before finishing him. Currently, Dongju's team doesn't know where to start investigating Ju-young's drugs. Team leader Anne comes by and informs everyone that Guangxi's gun has been handed over to him, and that Man-Sik's investigation team will not be allowed to investigate any further. Not knowing where to find more clues, Man-Sik is suddenly wobbly. When he takes off his shirt, they see that he's broken out in red welts, as if he's been bitten by something. Everyone remembers finding a type of fire ant at the port where the drugs were. Man-Sik may have been stung by these poisonous fire ants. If they're poisonous, they could cause a coma. Man-Sik doesn't believe it, thinking he'll be fine, but immediately collapses. After going to the hospital, the doctor checks him out and finds that he's not only been poisoned, but he also has acute diarrhea, and his whole body is a mess. Dongju says, "That is what you get for pigging out." But the ants are a clue that gives the team more information to investigate Ju-young. Using the excuse of eradicating ants at Insung Port, the team wears pest control suits and successfully infiltrates the warehouse at Insung Port. After splitting up the search, Dongju takes the opportunity to follow Hannah while working and calls out, "Steamed bun, steamed bun." He sees Hannah standing and looking at something in front of a container. Dongju runs up and calls out, "Steamed bun, did you find anything?" Then Hannah runs up from another location. So, who is the person in front of him? It turns out it's the drug queen who came to see Dongju. She immediately runs away, but Hannah gives her a flying kick. Jong Hyun quickly handcuffs her. But even then, Yeon-ha doesn't forget to flirt with Dongju a little. Jong Hyun wants to take her back to the station. but she claims that she's being bitten by ants. A little while later, she feels dizzy and falls to the ground unconscious. Everyone thinks that she was poisoned by ant bites. Dong-ju leans in to check on her, and she kisses him. "I've been missing you like crazy." Thugs start rushing in, and Dong-ju manages to protect Hannah, but he loses track of the drug queen. Remembering that she was standing in front of a container, Dong-ju knows where the drugs are hidden. The police quickly arrive at the teddy bear container, and it's indeed full of drugs. Jong Hyeon is suddenly itchy, revealing that he's been bitten by ants. He is immediately taken to see a doctor, and is diagnosed with a venom allergy that requires an injection. Seeing the needle, he crumbles and asks the doctor for medication, his face pale. To get Jong Hyeon the shot, Dong-ju gives him an effective dose of anesthesia by punching him. Man 6 team drives the entire shipping container back to the police station. The station chief doesn't know what Man 6 has brought back this time. Having made a major contribution, the team invites everyone to eat together, also inviting Anne's neighboring team that sometimes steals cases from Man 6. Seeing that this team is constantly making major contributions, team leader Anne can't take it anymore and orders his team to leave. Dong-ju's team gorges itself. After leaving, everyone wonders why Dong-ju is going in the same direction as Hannah, even though he doesn't have a home. Jong-hoon suspects that the two of them are living together and says, as his benefactor, he will allow Dong-ju to crash at his place. Dong-ju follows along with his feet, but his eyes are constantly darting towards Hannah, looking extremely pitiful. However, when he arrives at Jong-hoon's house, Dong-ju is only given a blanket and pillow, and his room is Jong-hoon's storage room. Dong-ju sees a box containing old memorabilia of Jong-hoon, including photos with Hannah, making him a little jealous. Indeed, he is a love-struck puppy, but when he sees a newspaper article about Jong Hyeon injuring his left eye and being forced to retire, Dong-ju remembers that during the national gold medal fencing competition, Jong Hyeon exuded a confidence that was second to none. Dong-ju was also there, showing off his gold medal to Jong Hyeon as if challenging him to win a gold medal too. However, a rare accident occurred. The opponent's sword suddenly broke and pierced through Jong Hyeon's helmet, injuring him in his left eye. It became a psychological obsession that caused Jong Hyeon to retire. Realizing that he punched Jong Hyeon in his left eye the other day, Dong-ju runs outside, saying he'll be back soon. Jong Hyeon is standing while brewing coffee, and remembering that Hannah has been acting differently lately when talking about Dong-ju. Even the stray dog near Hannah's house has been named Dong-ju. He can understand how she feels about Dong-ju. Then Dong-ju returns with a pile of medicine, asking Jong Hyeon if his left eye is injured, and wanting to apply scar cream to apologize to Jong Hyeon. The scene looks more like a couple caring for each other. Hannah is just a cover. Meanwhile, at Ju Young's base, the smuggling bosses have learned that their goods have been confiscated at Insung Port. Ju Young wonders how the police knew the exact location of the stash. Suddenly, they hear a noise, noticing that Guangxi is groaning in the trunk because he needs to go to the bathroom. During the last incident before he was to be executed, Leo slipped because his mother called. Even if he is a boss, he has to be scared in front of his mother. Because his mother didn't want Leo to kill anyone, he spared Guangxi's life. He tells the others that this guy was spared by his mother. Ju Young angrily stabs Guangxi in the leg and asks him how much he heard. While the bosses aren't paying attention, Guangxi grabs a stick and runs away, crying like a child. Jong Hyeon wakes up the next day with his face full of bandages, courtesy of Dong-ju. Man 6 team has a mission to escort a truck to the supply depot. Man 6 receives a call informing them that Guangxi has been found. They go to see him, and he cries like a child because he just wants to live peacefully, but has been shot and stabbed. Man 6 apologizes while asking him to recount everything. He tells them that Ju Young will send people to steal the trucks again. Man 6 calls Jae Hong and learns that the drug escort is lightly guarded, while most of them are gathered at the station chief's. Man 6 quickly calls Hannah, telling her to quickly change routes before going through the tunnel. However, as soon as they enter the tunnel, the smugglers quickly close in and place bombs on the police cars, blocking the cargo truck. Jong Hyeon is left alone to fight the armed men. Man 6 and Dong-ju are no exception, blocked by thugs dressed as police officers. Dong-ju isn't afraid, takes off his belt, and asks Man 6 how many of them he can take. Even with his injured right hand, they charge forward and beat the thugs without feeling any pain. Hannah is in a more dangerous situation, but she has weapons prepared and shoots at everyone. Eat bullets, you scum. Jae Hong is also attacked by drug traffickers. His car was crashed by his colleague. His opponent is a muscular Westerner. This time, Dong-ju's investigative team will have to face the real bosses since becoming police officers. Jong-hoon faces the Chinese boss, and Man 6 has an easier time but also encounters a notable figure. Only Dong-ju is facing a difficult time, having to face armed men alone. Despite fighting the mafia alone, Dong-ju is still able to take on 10 men at once. After taking care of the thugs, he puts on his helmet, chooses the best motorcycle, and begins his mission to rescue his friends. After the fight, Dong-ju manages to reach Jong Hyeon. He does a drift, gets up, and asks, "What did you do to my friend? My friend is afraid of needles. Are you bullying him? It doesn't matter what you do, I'm going to teach you a lesson for daring to bully my friend." This guy has a knife, but he's facing the best fighter in Korea. He gets beaten, but doesn't know what's going on. Dong-ju is suddenly hit by Ju Yong in a car. Jong Hyeon tries to stop him, but is also knocked unconscious. Dong-ju is thrown, but manages to stay conscious. Ju Yong asks, "How does it feel to lie on the sidewalk? No matter what you plan, the result will always be like this. Why do you make things so hard for yourself?" He says to Dong-ju, "Today will be an impressive day." Dong-ju replies, "Betting your life after getting on the ring. I'm lucky today. But if you cheat, you must follow the codes, so why are you cheating?" Dong-ju and Jong Hyeon want to go look for Hannah, but Ju Yong's men won't let them. Hannah, after being beaten badly, sees the drug queen come by and looks at her gloatingly. However, the most important thing now is to transport the container of drugs first. As the container leaves, Hannah tries to jump onto the truck. As a boxer and a taekwondo practitioner, Dong-hoon and Dong-ju quickly defeat the subordinates and start running towards Hannah, but they only find a burning car. When the police arrive, Dong-ju reports to Man-sik, "I can't contact Hannah," and the tracking device on the cargo container has been removed. Man-sik says, "Jae-hong was also seriously injured and has been taken to the hospital. They were able to ambush us here because they had prepared in advance. To catch these guys, we definitely need more people." When Dong-ju is worried, he tells Jong Hyeon, "Go to the hospital to get checked out first." But he refuses. The priority now is to find Hannah. Having heard the plan of finding Hannah, Dong-ju also offers to go to find her, then asks Jong Hyeon to calm down so he can drive. At the fork in the road, the two not knowing which side to turn, two imagine the container will turn right, and there is a shoe that Hannah dropped as a sign. The two continue to follow the clue to a second fork. Jong Hyeon finds another shoe of hers on the side of the road. Continuing for a while longer, the two find Hannah's jacket. As they continued to follow the track, they found a sleeve that was ripped off the cloth, and Hannah's phone, with no power left. Then, even her innerwear has been removed. At the warehouse, the two can't find any more clues. Meanwhile, Hannah, who has been on the container, waits for the thugs to be careless and break into the container. As for Dong-ju, he finds another glove with information about the license plate of another shipping container. Jong Hyeon immediately calls Man-sik, asking him to investigate the route of license plate number 1BA14. When they get back to the police station, Man-sik drags his two younger brothers into hiding because of the failed escort. "If we get caught now, we're done." Man-sik tells Dong-ju to turn off all the phones. Now we have to listen to what these people are saying. Man-sik sneaks around. If they find Man-sik, the station chief will kill him. Because the current situation is a bit urgent, Dong-ju's team can only operate secretly, without reporting to their superiors. The meeting place is none other than the pawn shop. The pawn shop owner thinks this place is a detective agency. "No, it's night and you won't let people sleep." After reviewing the route of license plate number 1BA14, the team sees that it is following National Highway 23. But it's all secondary roads on the map, which is easy to check. Not knowing where to continue, suddenly the pawn shop owner calls with intelligence, telling everyone that Guangxi has contacted a broker to cross the border at 4 a.m. on a ship. Early in the morning, while the bald Guangxi is preparing to cross the border to escape from Ju Yong, he is surrounded by 4 cops. He runs away and bumps into a pile of barrels, revealing a teddy bear containing drugs. Dong-ju asks, "Is this Ju Yong's reward for betraying us? I know the police transport information was leaked. There were reasons." After Jong Hyeon opens the bear, there is indeed a small packet of drugs inside. "He told me it was for his cold." He starts acting thirsty, drinking water while avoiding Dong-ju's questions. Man-sik tries to stop him, but he refuses. Dong-ju says, "Do you know why I never drink water during a fight? Because with a body full of water in the internal organs, one punch can destroy the internal organs inside." Then he stops drinking water. He turns to ask the team, can the police protect him this time? He makes them pinky swear, because he lost faith in the police after being interrogated so many times. He says that Ju Yong is trading with the Japanese, and the Gold Rabbit will know the location of the trade. That's all Guangxi knows. So Dong-ju and Jong Hyeon go back to the prison. and asks the Gold Rabbit where the trade with the Japanese will take place. Zhang Haiyan threatens, if he doesn't confess, he will never get the chance to see his younger brother, the Silver Rabbit. However, the two were threatened a step too late. Zhu Yong had already come here, bringing 2 teeth from the Gold Rabbit's younger brother, telling the Gold Rabbit to remain silent because his younger brother was not dead. The Gold Rabbit tells Zhang Haiyan and Dong Zhu, unless you bring his younger brother back here, I will never reveal any information. Because the Gold Rabbit refuses to reveal any information, Dong Zhu becomes increasingly worried because the team hasn't had any contact with Hannah for more than a day. His head is spinning, but he forces himself to tell everyone to investigate the locations where the Gold Rabbit has traded before. That night, Zhang Haiyan brings all the documents from the office to the pawn shop, and they start dividing up the investigation. While Dong Zhu is unstable, somewhere at Isung Port, Hannah is hiding in a pile of containers containing drugs, looking very dangerous. Man Sik receives news from the police station that the police are in chaos. The protesters from Dong Zhu's former coach's side are coming to the police station, just for throwing things at the mayor, causing him to be hospitalized. The station chief takes the opportunity to boast, claiming this is an act of defiance against the authorities. It was because of these trivial protests that Man Sik's escort was ambushed. Although he knows it's Zhu Yong's plan, Dong Zhu doesn't fly into a rage like last time, because he is restraining himself, trying to figure out how to find Hannah first. Only when he finds Dong Zhu will he burst into flames. Because it's stuffy in the room all day, Dong Zhu can only go out to get some air, looking at Hannah's picture and worrying. A sudden headache hits, causing Dong Zhu to drop his phone. Seeing that he looks so tired, Zhang Haiyan is worried, but no one gives in. Dong Zhu says, you should go to rest. At a port, Zhu Yong is discussing business with the Japanese about how he will divide the goods into smaller portions to transport so that they won't be investigated. However, the Japanese don't want that because they want to transport everything at once. To give this guy a gift for his reputation, Zhu Yong shoots and kills the translator, saying that he is the translator from now on. No one else will know about our business, so is it enough to have the credibility to trade gradually? The containers are quickly transported to the Japanese warehouse. Hannah takes advantage of the fact that no one is paying attention and jumps off the container, then runs away. The Chinese boss visits the Japanese warehouse, intending to tamper with a bottle of wine, but the Russian boss points a gun at his head. If you don't want to die, don't touch other people's things. This is a gift. Seeing the Russian boss's gun, Hannah suspects that it is similar to the description in her father's case file from that year. However, the more important thing for her now is to leave this organization. After running for a short while, Hannah is spotted by the Chinatown boss, and she is quickly surrounded. Zhu Yong doesn't say much and punches her hard. He wonders if Hannah is brave or stupid. The Chinatown boss doesn't know whether to chop her up for the fish or just throw her straight. But the Candy Queen stops him. We shouldn't shed blood on the first day of operation because that will bring bad luck. In fact, she is protecting Hannah. She is quickly thrown into a warehouse with a few people, but they are all silent. Zhu Yong says to Hannah, after getting on the boat and crossing the Pacific Ocean, he will throw this box into the sea. Hopefully, you will live to see the Russian boss at that time. She stops him and asks, in 2008 at Insung Port, a Russian mafia member was shot to death, and a police officer in charge of the case was also shot to death. And that person was Hannah's father. He remembers that year, when Hannah's father brought the evidence to Insung Port, he was shot by an assassin in the car. And that happened to be the same boss Leo from that year. But he doesn't answer Hannah, just closes the container. Fortunately, when she was thrown in here, Hannah managed to get a phone from someone and called for help. After receiving the news, the station quickly sent a message to Man Sik through the recording that Hannah sent. The location is at a shipyard overlooking Isung Bridge. Everyone immediately recognizes that it's the Gumpo shipyard. Jae Hong. According to the shipping manifest, a cargo ship will depart at 3:00 am. Before she can contact them for long, Hannah is beaten up again. After arriving at the shipyard, Dong Zhu's team discovers that drug traffickers are transporting goods at a rapid pace. There are only 20 minutes left before the ship leaves. They must find Hannah before she is thrown into the Pacific Ocean. Guang, she asks Dong Zhu, I am no use here and may I leave? Of course, Dong Zhu asks him, are your legs strong? Then he removes the handcuffs from him, but instead of letting him go, he throws him in front of the Japanese. It's a good test dummy. Taking advantage of the fact that no one is paying attention, Dong Zhu and Zhang Haiyan run into the pile of cargo, knocking on each container to search. Hannah hears Dong Zhu calling and desperately wants to knock on the container. Those guys don't know what Dong Zhu is doing and beat him immediately. Tell me where Hannah is. Don't make me punch you again. Hannah desperately knocks on the door, but Dongju and Jong Hyun's calls quickly attract the attention of the Japanese. While fighting, he knocks on the door and finally finds the place where Hannah is hidden. Dongju hugs her tightly. "I'm sorry for coming a little late. Your $1,000,000 face has become like this. It is my fault." But there is no time to reminisce. The three of them quickly leave the shipping area. Unfortunately for Jong Hyun, the Chinatown boss stabs him. Dongju runs out and kicks him. "I told you last time, don't touch my friends. If you don't listen, eat a punch." Then he locks him out. But Dongju's situation isn't good either, and now there are a lot of thugs. What can help him resist fears charging forward? Dongju tells Jong Hyun to take Hannah out. "Now that we've found the important person, we have to go crazy." However, Jong Hyun doesn't abandon his friend. The two clear a path for Jong Hyun and Hannah to gradually retreat. Dongju blocks the door, so that the two can leave first. However, Jong Hyun and Hannah can't escape easily, and now there's Boss Leo with a gun. He shoots Jong Hyun, causing him to fall into the sea. After Jong Hyun loses consciousness in the sea from being shot, the gangsters, not wanting to get involved, run away. Dongju doesn't want to lose his newly found friend, so he jumps into the sea to save Jong Hyun. Unfortunately, because he only learned half the swimming course, he doesn't have much strength. With Hannah's help, they are able to pull Jong Hyun ashore. His situation now looks very critical, and everyone can only wait outside the operating room, hoping that Jong Hyun will be okay. The Insung mayor also receives a call from Ju Yong, but he hangs up because he's busy. Ju Yong takes money to see the mayor. All with them see them then with what follows. Ju Yong asks him to suppress the news about the smuggling port being discovered, because he keeps making excuses. Ju Yong approaches and forces the mayor to open his mouth. "Your mouth doesn't eat enough money? I've taken care of everything for you, and this bag isn't enough?" Threatened by Ju Yong, the Coast Guard is immediately summoned to the shipyard, taking over the investigation from the Insung police. Man Sik hears from the team leader on the phone that even Prosecutor Kim is here. His younger brother is a police officer solving cases, and the older brother only knows how to suck up. Jong Hyun's condition has improved a lot, but Hannah looks quite heartbroken and guilty. The person feeling worse must be Dongju, even though he has a pre-existing condition. He still tries to go to Jong Hyun's house to get his belongings. He accidentally finds an X-ray showing that Jong Hyun had a torn ligament in 2018. That is why, when Dongju went to see Hannah that year, she said she had work to do. And then he had to wait for her alone the winter night. Carrying things to the hospital, Dongju asks Man Sik about Jong Hyun's situation. "I don't know if he can go back to work. Jong Hyun's ankle doesn't seem to be in good shape." After Jong Hyun wakes up, Hannah anxiously asks about his health, and seeing that his friend is woken up, Dongju feels relieved. He also doesn't forget to bring Jong Hyun's things to Hannah and comfort her. Because of the investigation, Mansik's team suffered a lot of damage, and the station chief disbanded his team. In this team, perhaps only Dongju is the most depressed, when he is reminded by the doctor to pay more attention to his health, as his condition is becoming more and more unstable, and he may damage the optic nerve, or even go blind. Remembering that he accidentally punched Jong Hyun in his left eye, Dongju falls unconscious to the ground unnoticed. 3 months later, when the special investigation team is disbanded, Jong Hyun also receives news about his teammates. Man Sik is working as a regular investigative police officer. Jae Hong returns to being a tour guide for children. Seeing Man Sik working, he doesn't forget to say hello because, with the demotion, his debts are also difficult to pay off. Hannah is no better when she returns to her paperwork room, where she is ridiculed by her old colleagues. When Jong Hyun asks about Dongju, he is doing community service, and it's more miserable than the others. In addition to having to scrub and do manual labor, Dongju also doesn't forget to visit his aunt at the nursing home. Because he doesn't have a house, Dongju has no choice but to stay at Man Sik's house. After bandaging himself, Dongju wants to go out but is stopped by Man Sik, who asks, "Today there's support for the mayor, and in a few days there will be community service at the bank." Dongju is more miserable than even a guard. Man Sik tells Dongju to go work as a guard at his junior's place, which might be better. Seeing his younger brother staring, Man Sik is a bit embarrassed and asks, "What are you looking at?" To talk about the relationship between these two brothers, Dongju was known as the Isung High School puncher when he was in high school. Anyone who got punched by him would be KO'd. Man Sik came to investigate and was punched in the nose by him. The fighting king was taken to the police station. Man Sik heard that this younger brother was just being bullied, and that it had been caused by something that had happened to a few people. As Dongju had no relatives other than his mother, because he didn't get the medicine to his mother in time, he became an orphan. and then he stopped wanting to resist, even when he was punched. Seeing Dong-ju injured all the time, Man-sik was the one who brought back the light to Dong-ju, leading him to the path of becoming a professional fighter. However, his career quickly fell apart because of his former coach's dirty tricks, who claimed that Dong-ju used doping. After 2 years, this injustice was cleared, but Dong-ju lost all interest in fighting. After retiring, Man-sik invited him to become a police officer under the Special Athlete Program. Dong-ju is very grateful because Man-sik always helped him in difficult times. Jang Hyeon is also starting rehabilitation. Knowing that he tore his ACL after Dong-ju brought the X-ray, Hannah remembers that Jang Hyeon tore his ACL in the past to save her, and that's why Jang Hyeon lost to his opponent in the gold medal fencing competition. Hannah asks why Jang Hyeon didn't say anything. Jang Hyeon is curious, if he said it, would their love still be there? Jang Hyeon still wanted to come back then, and still does. He wants to start over with Hannah again. After seeing the dog near Hannah's house, Dong-ju remembers her injuries and his teammates being shot. Dong-ju decides to start training again. Even when Hannah texts him, Dong-ju doesn't know how to respond. Ju-young is at a flower shop with his friend. When Yeon-ha comes to ask him where the person she's looking for is, he only gives her a keepsake from that person, as if to say to the drug queen that he is holding that person's life in his hands. And she only needs to complete one last batch of candy. The next morning, when Hannah puts on her police uniform to visit her father, her mother drops by with some peaches. But Hannah doesn't care. Her mother only cares about herself and has never been to her father's memorial service. Arriving at the grave, Hannah finds the whiskey bottle that the Russian boss held, as if he wants to atone and apologize to Hannah's father. At the hospital, Jang Hyun has been discharged by his brother. The brother always finds Jang Hyun annoying, but he doesn't want to see Jang Hyun. Today, he came to give Jang Hyun a letter of renunciation of inheritance, because he knows what kind of person his father is. What's the point of being a police officer and getting shot? However, Jang Hyun's brother still tells him, if you want to run, run well, and if you want to fight, try your best to fight. Remember to take care of your health. Dong-ju is now doing community service at a bank. Ju-young also appears in front of him, simply to withdraw money from his savings account, and doesn't forget to thank Dong-ju. Thanks to you, I got to retire. Dong-ju tells him, if you're thanking me, you should treat me to a meal. To his surprise, Ju-young actually invites Dong-ju to eat. People without friends are indeed good to eat with each other. Meanwhile, Hannah is still troubled about her father's case, wondering if the Russian boss is related to her father. However, she is taken away by her colleagues to clean the warehouse, and Hannah cannot investigate further. When she enters the document warehouse to clean, she discovers documents about her father's case from that year. The smuggling boss that year was named Oh, suspected of dying from a gunshot wound to the head with a Russian gun. After returning to the bank, Dong-ju remembers Ju-young's words. No matter what you do, you can't change anything. The only thing that controls everything in this world is money. But Dong-ju wants to prove to him that he can use his fists to change everything. Even when Hannah texts him, Dong-ju doesn't pay attention and only focuses on regaining his strength. He starts going to illegal locations and beating up Ju-young's thugs. Wherever he goes, the subordinates are defeated. Dong-ju's goal is to collect the watches of Ju-young's henchmen. When Ju-young arrives, he is only informed that a guy dressed in dark clothing came and beat everyone up. Dong-ju continues to go to other places where Ju-young trades illegal goods. He has decided to vent everything he has endured and won't forgive anyone. Even the mall manager is locked up by Dong-ju like a pig, and he asks him which other men have the watch. When the police arrive, they are arrested for illegal smuggling. News about a mysterious hero cracking down on illegal activities quickly spreads on TV. Dong-ju's goal is to eliminate all the smugglers, starting with the henchmen. Jang Hyun, knowing this news, also decides he can't be weak. As a boxer on the stage, between each round, there is about 1 minute to rest. Just that moment is enough for Dong-ju to feel awake and have the strength to fight another round. In every fight, from observation and taking hits to finding the opponent's weaknesses, is crucial. Dong-ju was waiting for that opportunity since he stepped into the ring with his opponent. Taking advantage of a moment of carelessness, he delivers a knockout punch, securing the victory. Just like how he took down each of Ju-young's smaller operations, Hannah keeps trying to call Dong-ju, but only gets a text message. I'll call you later. So when he gets back, Hannah has already prepared a change of clothes for Dong-ju. Because of this, Dong-ju chases after Hannah, but she quickly leaves. His older brother, Man-sik, looks utterly devastated because he doesn't know what his younger brother, Dong-ju, is doing, but he sees him on TV. Right now, news of the warrant for Guangxi's arrest is being broadcast nationwide. Jang Hyun has also gradually recovered after being shot by the Russian guy. He returns to headquarters, where the forensics officer gives him the autopsy report. There are 2 unidentified bodies at Ju Yong's delivery site. Man Sik, not knowing where Dong Ju is, goes to find Guang Si, asking him where Dong Ju currently is. Guang Si is currently running away from the other gang. He has no idea where Dong Ju is. So the 2 old friends start looking for Dong Ju together. The problem is that whenever they visit a base that Dong Ju has been to, they get kicked out like they're evil spirits. Because Dong Ju caused trouble in these places, the 2 older brothers were chased to their deaths by the mob. Fortunately, while being surrounded by the mob, Dong Ju appears like a hero, rescuing the 2 brothers by beating up the mob. Hannah is also there as support, pushing a few boxes to trip up the thugs. After that, it's a punching spree from Dong Ju, teaching the kids a lesson. The thugs are dealt with by a single punch from Dong Ju. When gathered with his group, Man Sik scolds Dong Ju. "Why are you digging up these cold cases?" Dong Ju replies, "I have to dig them up to make them hot again. How can a public official like Ju Yong manipulate the mob like the Koreans and Russians? And the police, and even the market? Surely his power must be related to money. That's why Dong Ju is targeting his subordinates to find clues." Zhang Haiyan recently received a report from the autopsy side, showing 3 bodies at the dock area. One is that of an international student, one is unidentified, and the other is missing 2 front teeth, possibly the younger brother of Gold Rabbit. After the meal, Dong Ju offers to take Hannah home, but she declines. She goes straight to Dong Ju's gym to see how he's been eating lately. She wants Dong Ju to teach her martial arts, but he's just afraid that Hannah will get hurt. She starts crying because of concern, scolding Dong Ju for only acting alone, with no one by his side. Dong Ju decides, "I won't stop until I can deal with Ju Yong." Because of being too emotional, Hannah couldn't restrain herself and kissed Dong Ju because she had been missing him for a long time. Meanwhile, the North Korean boss who manages the Chinese gang keeps complaining about not making any profit from recent deals. Ju Yong then hands over the business to the trainer. But the main thing he wants to entrust to this boss is to jointly trade his special candy. The profit from this will only be known by the 2 of them and won't reach Yeonha's ears. So the boss agrees with Ju Yong. Meanwhile, Yeonha is still constantly producing new candy, to the point where she almost faints from exhaustion. Luckily, the boss Leo catches her, and it seems like he likes Yeonha, telling her not to push herself too hard. Yeonha says that she's staying here just to try to find someone who is both the person she needs to find and the person she cherishes most. The next day, while doing community service at the police station, Dong Ju receives a call from Ju Yong, asking to meet and talk. As someone who likes to cause trouble and mess up Ju Yong's operations, Dong Ju eats this meal extremely deliciously, even telling him that he's a good friend who contacts him often. Seeing Dong Ju's face like this, Ju Yong asks, "You must be very hungry because of exercising so much, right?" Dong Ju calmly replies, "Oh no, I've been exposed. What should I do?" Ju Yong gets so angry that he flips the plate of food on the table. He advises Dong Ju to know his place, or he will face death. However, Dong Ju isn't afraid and challenges him by throwing the watches from Ju Yong's subordinates on the table. He then smiles. What do these guys know? Ju Yong used to be a very diligent office worker who dreamed of becoming a civil servant to get rich. One time, he discovered the biggest smuggling boss in Korea at the time. Seeing a boy with such a thirst for learning, the boss said, "Ju Yong, it's not enough to just have a brain. If you want to make money, follow me and I'll teach you." Since then, he started to come to his senses and became a new smuggling boss of the Insung area. After Zhang Haiyan meets with Gold Rabbit, he tells him about how Ju Yong had his younger brother's body disposed of, with evidence being the DNA test that Zhang Haiyan had done by the forensics side. Zhang Haiyan asks Gold Rabbit, "How much money does that Ju Yong have? Does he have hundreds of billions?" Gold Rabbit scoffs, saying that the amount of money he has is definitely something that the cops can't imagine. He's someone who specializes in using money to fill a container. It only took him 2 years to prove his ability. He doesn't count his money in billions, but he counts it by weight. This whole city operates on his money. He is the city of Insung. After collecting information from Gold Rabbit, Zhang Haiyan also tells everyone that the famous former smuggling boss's name is O. Not only that, but Gold Rabbit also reveals that the person who manages Ju Yong's money is a guy named Broski. If they catch him, they will definitely find where Ju Yong hides his money. Hannah also pulls out a bunch of documents that she found from her father's case in the past. His full name is Broski. So Dong Ju immediately asks Man Sik where Jae Hong is. After being demoted, Jae Hong's family is always in debt and doesn't have money to pay for living expenses. Zhang Haiyan stops by to encourage Jae Hong, asking if there's anything he can do to help him. Jae-hong doesn't really need Jong Hyan's help, only asking him to pass on the message to everyone that he can't help them. Dong-ju and the others follow a clue to a billiards hall to see if this Brodsky guy is there. Seeing the police come and call his name, he runs away through the emergency exit and quickly jumps into a truck. Without thinking much, Dong-ju also jumped into the truck. Everyone can only stare blankly as he leaves. Fortunately, Jong Hyan manages to block Brodsky in front. By throwing a club at the front of the car, he makes it stop. After escorting him back, Dong-ju asks him if he knows who Oh is, but he pretends like he doesn't understand what they're talking about. Hannah then tries to curse at him in Russian, making Brodsky uncomfortable. This little one is really rude. Man-sik, who knows a little, stutters a few sentences, but he is criticized for stuttering too much. Until Dong-ju starts juggling his phone, Brodsky blurts out in Korean, "My phone." Dong-ju unlocks his phone. Inside are all Korean text messages, and he keeps pretending. So Gwang-si at home has a new ally with Dong-ju's knockout punch. After returning to the team's secret base, Brodsky still refuses to cooperate. Man-sik threatens him. "Do you think you'll be safe after leaving the hands of the police?" That Ju-yong guy isn't simple. Brodsky feels that this is right, because so many subordinates who were returned ended up being killed. He then starts to reveal to everyone the locations where Ju-yong hid his money. The group compiles a total of 53 gathering points. From the moment they collected information about the money-hiding locations, Dong-ju and the others started to check each gathering point. And they didn't forget to take photos of each place, sending them to Ju-young to show him that these police officers aren't useless. At first, Ju-young didn't pay attention to Dong-ju, but after a while, he realized something was wrong and quickly drove to one of his money storage places, discovering that his container was empty, with not a single penny left. Just because of his carelessness, Dong-ju's group collected a large sum of money for the police station. Ju-young remembers that year, when he was still a pawn under boss Oh. Back then, Ju-young was tricked by the boss, who said that the watch he gave to Ju-young was very valuable. Until he took the watch to check it, the watch seller said that it really had no value, and looked the same after looking at it 10 times. When he first saw this container, he wondered when he would be able to fill a container with money like that. 10 years is too long. So Ju-young decides to use the watch that boss Oh gave him, punching him to death and becoming the new boss in the drug trade. Ju-young calls Dong-ju back, thanking him for reminding him of his position. Dong-ju also warns him to prepare his protective gear because he won't be forgiving. The money that Dong-ju's group collected has been broadcast on national television. The amount of money is so large that the police have to find around 10 containers to hold the money, all related to the illegal trade of banned substances and drugs. This case has such a big impact that the police chief is also affected. The police chief calls Man-sik, but he jokes that he's been fired and has nothing to do with this case. Goodbye. Another piece of good news that Dong-ju's group receives is that Gold Rabbit will testify. When everyone is eating together, they realize that there's a rather large gap in the group. Dong-ju is curious about where Jae-hong is and whether Jong Hyan has talked to him or not. Man-sik thinks that his fat friend is probably a bit busy. Indeed, he's still working as a tour guide for money. Because of the large amount of dirty money that Ju-young had exposed, his internal affairs began to fall apart. When Ju-young owes money to the other bosses, he has such a large amount of money. Yeon-ha withdraws first, not wanting to participate anymore, and is immediately blocked by Ju-young, saying that he has a bigger contract to discuss. But after the last case, Yeon-ha doesn't dare to trust him anymore. After putting Yeon-ha in the car to go back, Man-sik tells Dong-ju and Jae-hong to go to the mall. Ju-young might be distributing drugs there, so the two start to carry the picture of the candy wrapper containing drugs to the mall, asking each person. But no one knows anything about the candy that the two of them are talking about, until Jae-hong receives a message that his loan has not been approved. He tells his younger brother Dong-ju to go ahead, and he'll come after about 30 minutes. When asking about the loan for athletes, Jae-hong realizes that the person in charge of this loan is Dong-ju's old trainer. Yeon-ha is something that the police can't do anything about. The driver is suppressed by her with a gun to his head. "If you want to live, let me go." After returning to Ju-young's base, Yeon-ha asks him why he's selling this stuff to women and children. However, he doesn't care about who uses it or not. In the meantime, Ju-young is secretly eating and dividing the profits with the Chinese boss, no matter how hard Yeon-ha tries to say anything. Meanwhile, Dong-ju is still walking around to find clues, when he is suddenly hit by a headache due to his injury. More unfortunately, Ju-young's subordinates are here and surround Dong-ju. Because he has internal injuries, Dong-ju only knows how to act instinctively, hitting back a few times. But after that, he is quickly beaten to a pulp by the thugs. When Dong-ju tries to open a way out for himself, He is surrounded by robbers, so how can he run? Dongju's trainer is also there, telling the thugs to stop and let him deal with the rebellious student himself. Even though he's in a very unstable state, Dongju tells the trainer that he still has the strength to fight back. He can indeed hit once, but after that, he is immediately knocked out. The trainer knows that Dongju has internal injuries, because he was the one who gave Dongju a painkiller back when he was competing in the professional league. That drug will slowly cause Dongju's internal injuries to blur his vision, and eventually lead to blindness. Hearing this, Dongju wants to stand up and resist. But because he's exhausted, Dongju is also punched by the old trainer. Until Zhang returns, all that's left is Dongju's phone, and the blood stain in front of a stall. After being knocked unconscious, Dongju is also brought to Juyong. To have Dongju be wanted nationwide, he takes out a drug and injects a large amount directly into Dongju's body, causing him to convulse and become paralyzed. With this amount, Juyong wishes Dongju a smooth journey to the other world, and starts to have people transport this container away. After Man-sik and Hannah arrive, knowing that Dongju has been kidnapped, Man-sik can only scold the team leader. After Dongju wakes up, Yeon-ha luckily manages to slip a drug into Dongju's hand to help him sober up. After regaining his spirit, Dongju pushes open the container door, rushes straight into the car of the Chinese boss, and quickly escapes into the reed forest. Juyong's men don't chase after him because he has already had people follow Dongju. Two men in black with knives quickly strike Dongju, but Dongju can block it, but he is also stabbed and runs away, not knowing that he has been set up by Juyong, turning him into a drug addict, running around on the street with dangerous weapons. The drug being reported on television is a new and extremely dangerous addictive drug that can cause death. When Dongju's team learns that this friend is on drugs, everyone starts to search for him and worries about Dongju, not knowing where this friend is right now. Even when Hannah goes to Dongju's gym to find him, she doesn't find anyone. After searching around, Man-sik calls Jong Hyun back and reports that Dongju is going east. Tell everyone to start by looking for Dongju from the east. On the way to find Dongju, Man-sik calls the pawn shop owner and finds out that Dongju is wanted by Juyong's people. He has offered 100 million won for anyone who catches Dongju, and each of them is driving like crazy on the streets. Even the director has been taken over by Juyong. As long as he doesn't do anything or interfere with his affairs, everything is fine. After searching all night, Jong Hyun discovers a car that is turning on its anti-theft alarm and has bloodstains around it. Dongju, with his body full of wounds, is half dreaming, extremely critical. Yeon-ha appears out of nowhere, quickly approaching Dongju and injecting him with a drug that will help Dongju react less to the drug intoxication and be more alert. After rescuing Dongju, Jong Hyun calls Man-sik back, when suddenly the Chinese boss comes from nowhere, intending to stab Jong Hyun. Luckily, he quickly reverses the car and runs away. Brodsky and Guangxi are at the pawn shop owner's house, and the two push each other to go get the pizza. But when Brodsky just gets outside, what hits his eyes is the Russian boss Leo. Surprised, you traitor? He is killed that night. Jong Hyun doesn't know where to go at this time, because all the hospitals are having Juyong's people, and it's impossible to take Dongju there. Out of options, he can only call his brother for help. When he sees Dongju, Jong Hyun's brother thinks he's gone crazy, but he's actually serious. Jong Hyun wants his brother to help him with one thing, which is to save Dongju. In exchange, Jong Hyun will give all his inherited assets and shares to his brother, only that Dongju can survive. Seeing that the person they love is mentally unstable and not alert, everyone feels sorry for him. Hannah has decided that if the person she loves once went crazy for her, then she can do the same. Back half a day ago, Hannah admits to Jong Hyun that she really likes Dongju. She apologizes for not being able to reciprocate Jong Hyun's feelings. Meanwhile, at the police station, the chief director has disappeared, making Man-sik feel a headache. He heard that he went up to Seoul yesterday to do something. At this time, Jong Hyun has just arrived at the police station, when he receives a report about Gold Rabbit. Arriving at the scene, he only sees the aftermath because Gold Rabbit has been assassinated. In the police station now, there are signs of Juyong's influence everywhere. The Gold Rabbit, before being transported to another place, was killed by Juyong's subordinates, right on this transfer truck. Seeing the mob do this, the two team leaders feel that the police are nothing in Juyong's eyes. Meanwhile, at a party room in Seoul, Juyong is discussing things with high-ranking officials, such as the chief director and the chief prosecutor, Jong Hyun and Man-sik. After returning to their private office at the old pawn shop, see that the surrounding scene looks extremely chaotic. Man-sik keeps shouting. Pawn shop owner answer the phone. Then he comes back. The group only sees the Russian name lying dead on the ground, but there's still one bald eagle Guangxi missing. Suddenly, the sound in the closet next to the wall gets everyone's attention. On the night before, when the Russian names came here to eliminate their own, Guangxi realized that something was wrong. So he hid in the closet next to the wall first. Guangxi only remembers one thing, which is that before he died, the Russian name said a name. Leo Vladimirovich Vaskovsky. Man sick remembers. In Russia, people in the family will keep the name of the father. If so, then maybe the Russian name said something to the father of the Leo boss, and he went crazy and shot the Russian name. And Guangxi was also shot and cried like a baby. Zhang Haiyan discovers Hannah's notebook while investigating her father's case that year. Man sick curiously takes it and reads it, not thinking that Hannah would investigate the Russian group so deeply. At Zhu Yong's drug-containing candy production base, the subordinates are urgently packing the goods, waiting to be transported for sale in the country, without knowing that this base is about to be dismantled. Yeon Ha, according to the address that Zhu Yong gave her, arrives at the motel where her sister is staying. But when she opens the door, what hits Yeon Ha's eyes is her sister, who is extremely high and addicted to drugs. Not thinking that the person she worked so hard to find after 10 years is now living stealthily inside, like a person who has no awareness of life. Yeon Ha tries to ask her sister if she remembers this sister, and asks who gave her these candies. After Dongju wakes up from the nightmare, Hannah is always by his side, comforting him, just afraid that Dongju will open his eyes and not see her anymore. Luckily, Hannah is still here. She cries when she sees Dongju's pitiful situation. Dongju still wants to see Hannah more, but he is too tired to do that. So Hannah puts Dongju back to sleep, gently caressing his face full of wounds. In the current news, the subordinates whom Dongju once dealt with are rioting everywhere. Hannah, to avenge the person she loves, has decided to deal with the evil Zhu Yong at all costs. When Zhang Haiyan arrives, he only sees Dongju sleeping soundly with Hannah's headphones next to him. Hannah arrives at the police station. She wants to receive all her guns and bullets, for the reason of going to assist in handling wild animals, such as wild boars. However, she takes that pile to the drug candy area of Zhu Yong, determined to make him return the life of Dongju. Crossing the floors of the construction area, Hannah has found a place that is quite airy, suitable for assassination. Man Seek, with the pawnshop owner, just moves things to Dongju's place when he wonders, where's Hannah? The pawnshop owner suddenly remembers some documents related to land, so he starts rummaging through the files and throws them on the table. The owner of that land is David O, the son of the infamous smuggling boss of the past, Otala. Zhang Haiyan immediately goes online to investigate and sees that his Korean name is Zhu Yong. He realizes where Hannah is now. When Hannah is about to aim at the Chinese boss, Zhu Yong steps out from inside, causing her to change her mind and point her gun straight at him. Coincidentally, at this time, the candy boss, because her sister was harmed by Zhu Yong, is angry and wants to deal with Zhu Yong, but a woman's body is easily bullied by men. Zhu Yong's subordinates control Yeon Ha. The reason he did that is that he has discovered that Yeon Ha has betrayed him to save Dongju. To punish Yeon Ha, Zhu Yong hastily stuffs a few candies that he just invented, causing Yeon Ha to immediately lose consciousness. Suddenly, there's a phone call for Zhu Yong, as if to report to him that he is in danger. Immediately, Hannah aims straight at Zhu Yong's head and pulls the trigger. Blood slowly flows out, but luckily, that shot only grazed his face. Zhu Yong is both surprised and runs away, while Hannah, besides the first shot, doesn't hit any more shots. Man Sick, because he needs reinforcements to save Hannah, arrives at the police station, but everyone has left. Calling Dae-yong, he sees that the police have been dispatched by the director to the mayor's office. There's no one here who can help Man Seek. Hannah, after committing the act, begins her escape operation. Zhu Yong's subordinates, so Hannah must be careful and slowly feed each of them a bullet. Instead of all rushing up, these stupid people go up one by one, allowing Hannah to deal with each one extremely easily. Zhu Yong, because he wants to deal with Hannah personally, has also entered the elevator to go to the floor. Hannah, on this side, continues to struggle with Zhu Yong's subordinates, but this time in the fight, she has the bag containing her guns thrown down to the building below by the subordinates. Until she controls the last one, he is willing to confess that Zhu Yong is currently on the 20th floor, or the highest floor of this area. Hannah starts to go up to the higher floor. Coincidentally, this place has a warehouse for drug goods, so she also has a place to hide. However, she doesn't intend to let these people go. Immediately, a moment later, she acts, and is immediately rained with bullets in the head. Determined to take revenge for Dongju lying at home, Hannah pushes the cargo and changes places, then removes the pin of the fire extinguisher and causes a mist around. She hides in the mist. Hannah slowly deals with each one until she is squeezed into the central position. Jong Hyun, after finding out where Hannah is, also rushes here to find traces of her. But looking in front, there is a group. Looking behind, he also sees people. A melee with him is probably inevitable. When Hannah just runs to the elevator area, she is suddenly shot straight in the body by Ju Yong, causing extreme pain. That's also when her headphones lose sound. Dongju has gradually woken up when he feels that there is something he must do. Luckily, Hannah had put on a bulletproof vest early, but the damage from the shotgun was too great. Ju Yong asks her, "Is this all you have to kill me?" It seems that the strength of the gold medalist fairy is only this. Ju Yong asks Hannah, "Why does everyone want to point a gun at me?" At this time, she tells all his crimes. Don't spare the young, don't pity the old, kill people in fake traffic accidents, and also trade in drug candy. Ju Yong thinks for a moment and admits all his crimes in front of Hannah. He asks her what evidence she has that he did it, but little does he know that she has used a specialized camera. She once advertised to record what he said. Hannah's chief is broadcasting the video recording of Ju Yong's confession online. Everyone in the police station sees this tape. Even the female colleagues run into the chief's office to show him. Information about the live stream containing Ju Yong's confession begins to stir up the media, and even the chief director is curious and calls his employees to see what's going on. Dongju can also watch what Hannah recorded. Guangxi is curious and asks Dongju what's wrong. So the pawnshop owner is waving and telling Guangxi to shut up. Ju Yong on this side has gone crazy, wanting to kill Hannah, but her gun has run out of bullets. Ju Yong thinks that all these things happening to him are because of Dongju. And Dongju on this side, to save Hannah, does not hesitate to drink a pile of painkillers in one shot. He has to go save Hannah. But as soon as he gets outside, he is dragged by Ju Yong's subordinates to prevent future troubles. Ju Yong starts to torture Hannah, dragging her away like a bag, without knowing that Yeon Ha has given her a gun. Hearing the gunshots, Jong Hyun immediately presses the elevator button. Unexpectedly, there's another group of thugs here. I've balanced 20 guys before, now I have to balance more, and it's a bit tiring. Dongju is on this side. He deals with those subordinates as easily as eating candy. Man-Sik calls back and only hears the sound of fighting, so he immediately steps on the gas to accelerate. Jong Hyun, in a critical situation, luckily has Jae Hong to rescue. "Hey you bastards," screaming for prestige. Then the brother uses a bull rush move to push the group into the wall, and tells Jong Hyun to go save the person. When Hannah is close to danger, the Russian boss challenges him. "If you pull the trigger, you will die." Ju Yong is surprised when there are too many guns pointing at him today. But Leo says, "I'm not wrong to point the gun in this direction." It turns out that on the night before the Russian name died, he revealed the name of the person who killed Leo's father. That person is none other than Ju Yong, the person who gave his father's gun to him. And now he uses that gun to point at Ju Yong's head. Hannah quickly pulls Yeon Ha away first. Where did the Chinese boss stab Leo in the back? So he just fired at the two people and retreated into the elevator. Man-Sik finally arrives at Dongju's place and only sees Ju Yong's subordinates lying all over the place. The pawnshop owner says he just exercised his limbs a bit. What he cares about is Dongju, but he is going straight to where the chief director is having a secret meeting with the prosecutor. Team leader Dae-yong only knows how to escort him inside. Dongju bluntly goes to the chief director to punch him in the face in front of everyone's surprise. "Those who can't do anything for the people, let me do it." Just as Dongju goes outside, he meets Man-Sik, so the two escape together. The boss Leo on this side also begins to tell the story of that year of himself. Although it's a bit late, he was saved by Hannah's father when he was 18 years old. He gives the camera to Hannah, as if to thank her because her father saved him that year. Jae Hong on this side is hitting the thugs and asking, "Does it hurt when I hit?" "Whether it hurts or not, I'll keep hitting." Then he starts looking for Jong Hyun. Jong Hyun admits that he has a very special relationship with the Chinese boss. Every time they see each other, they want to fight. Then Hannah, after rescuing Yeon Ha from danger, picks up her father's camera and reviews the tape that was broadcast that year that caused her father's death. She decides that she can't just stay here easily. Even Dongju and Man-Sik have arrived at this autonomous area. Ju Yong is urgently transporting all the money and drugs away before being arrested. He calls the mayor, but he doesn't even bother to pick up, causing Ju Yong to start going crazy. From the moment he stepped into the arena, Dongju has determined not to back down and knock out everyone. Currently, everyone here will have to fight each bad guy one by one. No one is busy. The national athlete team decided to put all their strength into moving forward, even if it is against any enemy. because they will definitely win. At this time, Ju Yong remembers what he did that year. First as killing the smuggling boss Otala and taking the gun from him. Then killing the father of Boss Leo and taking the gun and giving it to him. Telling about how he knows who killed the father of Boss Leo. And finally, in that year, when Leo shot Hannah's father but didn't die, it was Ju Yong who held the gun and bluntly fired at Hannah's father, causing him to die completely and unable to be saved. That's why Hannah and everyone decide to deal with Ju Yong nicely. Even if they are injured, Dongju can still take on 10 guys at a time. Zhang Haiyan because he fights with the boss, but he is not because of that at a disadvantage before him. Brother Jae Hong hits people and still asks, "Are you okay? As if I hit you, you would be crippled or something." Man-Sik luckily has a bulletproof vest, so he can't be pierced by the thug, and then he holds the steel pipe and taps the other guy's head. "I told you to stay away from me." Boss Leo, because he was shot at with the thugs of Ju Yong and was too seriously injured. Although he couldn't go back to see his mother, but at least able to die in front of the person he liked. He also feels happy and says goodbye to Yanha. The Chinese boss asks Zhang Haiyan if Dongju is dead, although he hates to say this. But Zhang Haiyan admits that Dongju is really long-lived. He tells the Chinese boss, Dongju will overcome all obstacles to be able to level this place. Zhang Haiyan asks the boss if he knows what he hates more. That is when losing another person. After saying that, he takes off his glasses, seriously makes a few punches, causing the boss to fall down. Immediately thinking that it's over, but he is playing fair, holding a knife to continue fighting with Zhang Haiyan, causing him to be knocked down. Hannah, after arriving at the highest floor, gets the guns from the subordinates, and then carries an AK-47 to meet Ju Yong, starting to fire continuously at him. What Ju Yong doesn't expect is that Yan Ha, at this time, to avenge Boss Leo, holds a pink grenade and throws it at Ju Yong, leaving in an extremely cool way. Hearing the sound of the bomb exploding, everyone is startled, but Ju Yong is still alive. Hannah and Yan Ha, after leaving, continue to face difficulties because of Ju Yong's subordinates. Just when Dongju arrives here and sees Hannah in danger, without thinking about anything, he runs up to Hannah and hits the group of them, so a very spectacular battle takes place. After cleaning up, Ju Yong also crawls down to the place. "Hello, my old friend Ju Yong." He is extremely surprised to know that Dongju is still alive and well there. Without asking for his ears, how can Dongju die so easily? The two didn't expect that at this time, Yan Ha wanted to go to the end of the world with Ju Yong to avenge her sister. But the two struggled for a long time, causing the pin of the bomb to loosen, causing the bomb to explode immediately. While in such a tense situation, Dongju still flirts with Hannah. Everyone at this time also gathers at Dongju's place. Zhang Haiyan immediately runs to Yan Ha's place and sees that she is still alive, and Ju Yong takes advantage of the fact that no one is paying attention to him. He has secretly run away to another place. Because Dongju is currently wanted, he can't just go outside normally. Everyone immediately thinks of a way for Dongju to get into the trash can. Then there's a scene of faking a headache to take Ju Yong's phone and put it in his pocket. The chief director hears about Dongju being here, so he also stops by. Man-Sik, as if seeing something evil, kneels at his feet, hastily asking him what happened to his jaw. What else could have happened other than being punched by Dongju? Meanwhile, the Chinese boss on this side blames Dongju's old trainer for transporting the car too late, so the police came and disrupted things. He complains about a bunch of drugs being wasted and confiscated, but because Ju Yong is not here, a subordinate comes to ask the Chinese boss what to do with the remaining drugs that they can grab. They want to take those goods to meet someone else who can sell them, the trainer, as if wanting to eat alone, calls someone to take the remaining drugs away. But he is also visited by the subordinate of the Chinese boss. The trainer threatens this group that he is a medal holder. Don't joke, but standing in front of a group with knives. Let's see who should joke with whom. Currently, Man-Sik's team, because there is no place to return. Out of options, he can only let his team stay at home for one night, and bribe his daughter, and force Dongju to stay here to be safer. But his face doesn't want to stay in one place. Jae Hong wonders what the group will have to do now. Suddenly, Man-Sik's daughter, Jung A, goes out and makes a very strange breathing motion. Jae Hong says that the breathing style is like when a woman is pregnant, hearing the news that her child is pregnant, and not knowing where the child's father is. Man-Sik also goes crazy. It's true that this child doesn't know what liver she ate to do this thing. After a walk, Jae Hong and Zhang Haiyan go home first, leaving only Hannah and Dongju to enjoy the moment, just the two of them. Zhang Hong carries his tired body home and sees his wife packing things. Seeing his bronze medal, Zhang Hong tells his wife that he feels extremely ashamed when he sees that bronze medal. So he is beaten by his wife a few times, because she and the children have never felt ashamed. After all, the pillar in the house got a bronze medal. Currently, Dong-ju and Hannah are like a real couple when he takes care of Hannah every little bit. Hannah wonders why Dong-ju has so many wounds on his body, but he tries so hard. Dong-ju tells about how, when he was a child, he was often beaten a lot. Whenever Dong-ju's father was drunk, he would be dragged out and punched a few times. Hannah sees that Dong-ju is so strong, she feels extremely proud. Hearing that Dong-ju starts like a puppy wanting to kiss. But Hannah doesn't allow it. But how can she not allow the purebred wild wolf? Each time they are about to be affectionate, Hannah's mother disrupts. Dong-ju hastily finds a place to hide before being caught. Hannah hides her shoes and then opens the door for her mother. Her mother keeps crying and fearing that her daughter will be okay, but she only has a slight scratch. Seeing that Hannah's face is a bit hot, she opens the door where Dong-ju is hiding. Hannah has to pretend to be sick in order to make Dong-ju escape being caught cheating. Taking advantage of Hannah pulling her mother to another place, Dong-ju hastily runs out of the house before being discovered. Out of places to go, so his friend Jong Hyeon can't avoid being disturbed by Dong-ju. Luckily, just now in front of Hannah, Dong-ju was okay. Only when he went to the bathroom in Jong Hyeon's house did Dong-ju start to reveal his illness, and the injury situation became more and more serious. In the following days, Man 6 team continued to stay on the road without any news about Ju Yong. Hannah and her old chief have now made up, after the case where she asked to broadcast, live to expose the true face of Ju Yong to the whole country. Hannah says that the chief is the only person she can trust now. Dong-ju's team continues to search for places that Ju Yong might visit, only discovering in a warehouse a subordinate who is being affectionate with his lover, and runs away when he sees the police. But he can't escape the four of them wherever he runs. Although this thug refuses to confess, his lover pulls out a list of 15 candy transport vehicles. Just follow the route of those drug candy transport vehicles, and you will catch Jong-go and Ju Yong, because they will not leave their goods behind and leave. So the whole team starts to split up and go to each location of Ju Yong's cargo truck. Jong Hyeon tells Dong-ju that he must be tired, so temporarily guard this place first. Dong-ju doesn't want to, but is still stopped by Jong Hyeon, just because last night Jong Hyeon knew about Dong-ju's unstable condition. So he is worried about him like that. After gathering at the police station, everyone starts to investigate the phone that Ju Yong left at the scene of Hannah's shooting last time. And after investigating, they discover that the last number is the number of a new recruit guarding the armory of team leader Dae Yong. Man Sik calls to confirm what the situation is, only knowing that he has been transferred long ago. However, the group still has a clue about the transport route of Ju Yong's goods. Man Sik calls Dae Rang, asking if his friend has found the recruit, but what's responded to the group is only an ambulance carrying the body of the recruit. Dong-ju realizes that no matter where Ju Yong goes, he must have support behind him. So he has also identified Ju Yong's location. He goes straight to the mayor's building, knowing that Ju Yong is here. Arriving at the place, the higher he goes, the more he is prevented by the group. Ju Yong, seeing that he has been discovered, pulls the director to threaten, and he also fires his gun when threatened by Hannah. Until everyone escapes the building, they start to continue to split up and find more. When Ju Yong thought he had escaped from Dong-ju's group, Dong-ju appears and greets. Surprised? It seems that you haven't learned the lesson properly when you thought you could defeat me, huh? When Dong-ju almost lost his guard, Ju Yong intended to kill him. He kept shooting Dong-ju while climbing into the car and escaping. But at the last moment, Dong-ju suddenly had his condition become more serious. Dong-ju starts to fall into a state of loss of consciousness. Jong Hyeon, after finding Dong-ju, only sees him being extremely angry and out of control, not knowing whether the person in front of him is a friend or an enemy. After Jong Hyeon says his name, Dong-ju calms down and tells Jong Hyeon that he can't see anything anymore. Jong Hyeon, because he doesn't want Hannah to know Dong-ju's situation, pulls Dong-ju aside to hide, as if the two fathers and sons are comforting each other. Dong-ju is no different from a child, full of serious injuries, not daring to face the person he loves. After Hannah leaves, Jong Hyeon reports Dong-ju's condition to Man Sik. Seeing Hannah arrive, the two brothers tell Hannah to go see the chief director with them, to see how he was shot. Then, when meeting the chief director, Man Sik angrily asks him where Ju Yong is. Being treated like a pig, he still refuses to say. Man Sik starts to provoke him, cursing him as a nylon underwear, only knowing how to occupy a place without any effect. Being touched to his self-esteem, he is extremely angry, and asks where Hannah is to blame her for shooting him in the leg. Man Sik doesn't care, he just curses, and says that this police profession cannot be done anymore. just because there's a chief director who is too stupid. Zhang Haiyan, to recover Dongju, takes him to the hospital to meet his acquaintance, who will safely treat him while still being wanted. Seeing Zhang Haiyan caring about him like that, Dongju smiles and then thanks him, but is told not to smile, lest feelings arise. The mayor on this side, because he keeps not answering Zhu Yong's calls, is punished by Zhu Yong and asked again, what to do tomorrow, remember? Tomorrow, there is a ship from Japan coming. The mayor's task is to help Zhu Yong escape safely, thanks to that ship, otherwise he will die with his whole family tree. After the mayor leaves, the subordinate says to find the pile of candy quickly, otherwise the Japanese will not let him go. And this pile of candy is currently being kept by the Chinese boss for himself. No one dares to accept the goods, because they heard it's the goods of Zhu Yong. Not knowing what to do, the Russian friend steps in from nowhere, greeting, "Hello, my friend." The Chinese boss suddenly shouts, "This guy, who's your friend?" Zhu Yong appears. "If you weren't a friend, why would you steal other people's goods?" This guy, thinking that Zhu Yong's side has two people, then says that this batch of goods must now be divided equally, because his subordinates have shed blood. Even Yanha and Liu are lying down. The living must share equally. Zhu Yong looks at him with indifferent eyes. "Okay, if you want to be fair, the living take everything." As soon as he finishes speaking, the Russian subordinates appear, holding guns and firing all the bullets at this group of people. The next day, Zhang Haiyan just prepares to go to work. He thinks Dongju is still sleeping, but when he opens the door, he doesn't see him anymore. And Dongju, because he misses Hannah, has come near her house to play with a dog named Dongju, as if waiting for Hannah for a long time. Hannah comes to ask, "Why don't you answer my texts?" Dongju says that his phone is broken, so he couldn't contact her. But seeing the person he loves in front of him, Dongju can't restrain his heart and falls into her arms like a child, who is always smiling. Even the landlady nearby has to praise the two people as a talented man and a beautiful woman. The two went to the scene of the shooting together last night. Man Sick pulls Dongju aside and asks, "Why are you not in the hospital but come here to do what?" Even Jae Hong comes out and says loudly, "What to do in the hospital?" Afraid that Hannah will hear, Dongju has to shout, "Has your wife gotten better after going to the hospital?" Inside the scene, team leader Ann says that yesterday, the people heard the voices of Russians and gunshots, but not seeing the boss's body, he must have escaped. But the fact that Zhu Yong's people came here through 7 segments of camera control could not be detected. The whole team suspects that someone in the station is secretly helping him, team leader, and also suspects that there is a mouse in his team. After the team returns to the pawn shop office to investigate further, the chief director stops by and asks if this team is thought to have disbanded. But unexpectedly, there are so many more. Not to mention that there is also that wanted guy. Each time he comes here not to catch Dongju, but to wants to pass on the message from the director. The chief director praises Hannah for how she shot him in the thigh last time, but didn't hit a nerve. A gold medalist athlete is indeed different, but Man 6 says that shooting a bullet into his ass is not satisfying. He has to shoot into another place. The chief director says that the director now also allows everyone to secretly catch that Zhu Yong. He and that Zhu Yong have nothing to do with each other. It's just that when meeting that name, he seems to have the power to take over the market and other powerful people. He once said that he not only has power outside of money. The group thinks for a moment about what that power is. Zhu Yong says that he is a person who specializes in taking advantage of other people's weaknesses to make them listen to him. He must have documents or records about the people he has taken over. At first, he was an employee of the customs office. His job at that time was to manage the integrated database, suitable for collecting records and documents related to the places he needed, using those documents and invoices to threaten companies, and then take dirty money, then overthrow Otala, and then deceive Leo. Just like that, little by little with the documents collected, creating his own empire. Now Dongju's group only needs to find those piles of documents, and they can clean up the piles of Zhu Yong's waste. But the problem now is that the group doesn't know where to start. Dongju tells them to just ask Zhu Yong directly. So after planning, Zhang Haiyan calls team leader An's team and starts assigning tasks, investigating a large area in the south, and giving each of them a walkie-talkie to report the situation. This is Dongju's team's plan, taking advantage of each walkie-talkie that has been secretly equipped with eavesdropping from before to see if there is any mouse in team leader An's team that is reporting the news to Zhu Yong. The whole group is focusing on listening and can't catch the wave. The pawn shop owner tells Guangxi that besides being bald and having many holes, he is useless. Worry about keeping the antenna high to catch the wave. After listening to the information for a while, the whole group finally finds someone who is calling Ju Yong. Man-sik feels lucky that it's not team leader An. After team leader An learns the news, he angrily finds his younger brother in his team to beat him almost to death. Asking about the phone call to Ju Yong, he keeps denying that he did that, until Dong-ju finds the burner phone behind the main seat. Seeing the clear evidence in front of him, he admits that he has only recently accepted this job. And he only provides investigative information, as well as the police's route. It's no wonder Hannah knew when to assassinate him. Dong-ju asks about the youngest member in the team, causing team leader An to go crazy. He admits that in the hit-and-run case back then, he had scheduled a meeting with the youngest member in the team. Just because he was discovered, taking advantage of the youngest member not paying attention, he killed him. There is indeed no humanity left. At this time, the whole group is not knowing how to call Ju Yong. Dong-ju says that he will definitely call back, because since losing the container of cash, it must be a big shock to him. So even a little pretense will make him extremely bat and call back. Just as he finishes speaking, he calls back. Dong-ju tells the mouse to do the right thing that you can do last. When Ju Yong reports the location he will pass through, tell the mouse to open the way at the intersection for him and a truck. Dong-ju plans to go immediately. Man-sik is extremely surprised. Since being punched in the head too many times, he has become smarter. The whole team starts to search for Ju Yong's car. Man-sik calls Jae Hong to monitor which way Ju Yong is going. But Ju Yong is still suspicious about whether he is being followed. In the words of that mouse, until he goes down to a basement, he has to stop the car. Jae Hong reports that Ju Yong's car goes into the basement and doesn't come out. It seems that he really knows that he is being followed. Until Dong-ju and Man-sik arrive at the place, Ju Yong has abandoned his car. The ability is that he stole a car from the opposite direction and escaped through that road. Ju Yong realizes that he is no longer safe, so he has people destroy all the records and documents that he has collected. But little does he know that Hannah is with the pawn shop owner to find out where the documents that he kept are being stored. Guangxi remembers that the previous mayor was a rampant district chief. The ability is that Ju Yong will hide records and documents in the district, where the current mayor used to be rampant in that area. Hannah looks at the list and realizes that the place is the mayor's first project. So when everyone is destroying the documents, the police immediately appear to prevent the successful destruction, collecting a warehouse of corruption documents that Ju Yong has seized from large and small companies, in which the records of Group T are what everyone is looking for. Now there is a reason to arrest Ju Yong and that corrupt mayor. The mayor, since knowing that he is in danger, has been urgently urging the employee to get his car for him to escape. And wherever he goes, Man-sik's team appears. There are people in this way. There are also people in that way, making him only know how to spin himself around because he can't run anywhere. After being caught again and confessing everything about Ju Yong, Dong-ju ties him with blue tape, then pushes him near the elevator like he is playing bowling. An absolute scoring phase. Jae Hong pushes him in front of the group of reporters waiting here. He is no different from a pig that is tied up waiting to be dragged out for slaughter. He just shouts, "I'm not the mayor, why do you treat me like this?" When everyone is happy, Hannah realizes that there is something wrong with Dong-ju. For Hannah not to pay attention, Jong Hyun covers for him. At the meal, when Hannah goes to get water, everyone asks Dong-ju if he is okay. He is a bit tired. When Hannah returns, Dong-ju smiles as if nothing happened. Hannah sees that she knows that there is something wrong. When leaving, Jong Hyun and Dong-ju are not seen anywhere, but Dong-ju continues to have a nosebleed. Jong Hyun tells him not to be stubborn anymore, because it will be revealed, and he should button up his shirt, so as not to let Hannah see. Seeing that Dong-ju can't button up, Jong Hyun slowly buttons it for him, causing Dong-ju to be curious. "Am I that precious to you? Man-sik once told me that I owe you a lifetime, because you gave up all your inheritance just to save me. I also have the right to exchange for the entire fortune, right?" Hannah just arrives here, when Man-sik hastily reports to Dong-ju that the nursing home is calling him. Dong-ju's aunt has woken up after being operated on for her injuries since she was shot by Ju Yong. Seeing Dong-ju's face, the aunt is extremely sorry, because Dong-ju is no different from her son. Seeing Dong-ju doing everything for her like this, the aunt tells Dong-ju to rely on her and live together. Dong-ju has felt family love for a long time and bursts into tears like a child. The next day at the police station during the interrogation of that mouse, team leader An tells that he is involved in gambling and high-interest loans. No wonder he got involved with Ju Yong to earn money to pay off debts. Man-sik suddenly receives a phone call announcing that they have found Jong-gu, Dong-ju's old trainer. Dong-ju urgently wants to ask to be punched, causing Man-sik to be helpless. For his younger brother to stay in one place, Man Sik, when he arrives at the place, handcuffs his younger brother and tells him to stay here and wait. But how can Dongju stay in one place? Dongju even removes the steering wheel of Man Sik and meets his old trainer with the steering wheel in his hand and asks, "Where are you planning to run?" There's no way to run anymore. The trainer asks Dongju if he hasn't been beaten enough. That approaches, intending to act. Then Dongju has a weapon. This time, I'll let you know what etiquette is. Jong-gu is punched so painfully that he has to play dirty, grabbing a sledgehammer and keeps hitting Dongju. But luckily, thanks to him, Dongju can remove the steering wheel. Although he is a bit careless, Dongju is currently at his peak, so defeating Dong-ho is as easy as pie. Before you stood on the stage, and I thought you were very good, but in the end, you only acted when the opponent was weak. Dongju today decided to repay him for what he had done to him. Now thinking back, I just remembered one more thing. Every time you go to the stage, you say that if greed is too great, the fist will be heavy. If so, it's over, you bastard. Mansik, as soon as he sees Dongju, scolds his younger brother. Why did you bring the steering wheel out here? You are very good, you bastard. Hannah just arrived here, and Jae-hong immediately stops her. Hannah asks him if he knows about Dongju's condition. Is that right? Dongju tries to laugh, but only says that he just defeated Jong-gu, as if he is still okay. But when he gets home, Hannah immediately exposes that Dongju is really not okay. If it hurts, he should say it hurts. Why does he keep trying to hide it? Hannah has known for a long time, but she apologizes for not being able to ask, because she is afraid that Dongju will be sad. Hannah hopes Dongju will recover quickly, otherwise, she will beat him up. Ju-young, on this side, to ask the addicts for a favor, has come to the addict's nest and has the addict try the drug, but he doesn't believe it. Ju-young only has the way to feed another addict candy. Seeing the immediate high expression of that addict, the addict asks Ju-young how much of this he has. He says he has a truck, but the addict doesn't have enough money. Ju-young currently doesn't want money, but he also gives him the truck for free as long as he helps with one thing. As for Dongju on this side, after receiving Yeon-ha's appointment, he has come to see her to see what she wants to say. Arriving at the dock where Yeon-ha is standing, Dongju tells her that it's time to return the book to others. Yeon-ha says that Ju-young is a madman, even more than what can be imagined. When he can't get it, he will definitely have to destroy it. Yeon-ha advises Dongju to be careful, because he is in danger. In his hand is the address of the factory where the drug candy is made. Dongju realizes that maybe Ju-young wants to explode the truck that is transporting Ju-young's candy. He calls back and reports to everyone to immediately stop that truck at all costs. Ju-young is sitting on one side, waiting to press the timer for the explosion. That Dongju's group is trying their best to drive to block the truck and successfully surround it before a large intersection. When everyone intends to approach that truck, it explodes. But luckily, everyone is not injured. However, that truck is not the only thing that explodes. Ju-young has set up bombs all over this area, as if he wants to destroy this whole city. After the ambulance that came earlier exploded, Man-sik and Jae-hong had some scratches on their heads. Man-sik burst into tears, grateful that he is still alive here to go home and see his daughter. The current situation makes Dongju not know what else that crazy Ju-young can do. He goes to the treatment room of the chief director to ask him if he only knows how to cowardly hide here like this. The Korean police force, with the oath to protect the lives and safety of everyone, is determined to stop and suppress the bad guys. Isn't he just planning to abandon his honor and hide here like this? The chief director says that those who have power have had all under the control of Ju-young for many years. How could a small person like Dongju deal with all of them? After gathering with everyone, according to the statistics found, Ju-young has prepared 5 trucks to enter the city to explode. However, only 4 have been discovered. Dongju suspects that the 5th one is being prepared for something. Man-sik tells the chief to coordinate the unit to quickly find the 5th one now. Man-sik is also curious why Dongju knows that there are bombs in those trucks. So he leads the group to meet Yeon-ha, who used to be wanted, is now joining the side of the police. When everyone asks and investigates urgently, Yeon-ha says she will say if there is a hot bowl of kimchi soup here. Dongju says she will have it if she says everything here. Because of her love for guys, Yeon-ha asks everyone to think about who is secretly pulling Ju-young from behind now. Ju-young has a special attraction to women, remembering that he often visits a flower shop. Maybe that is a clue for everyone to be able to catch Ju-young. So the next day, everyone immediately goes to find information about the florist. Jong Hyeon receives a report that the flower shop owner left about 2 days ago and did not return. It seems that she also received intelligence that she would be investigated. In the evening, while investigating together, Rong Han is now increasingly closer to Dongju. No longer he hatred like the old days, but now is like taking care of a child. Dong-ju, to show his kindness, has also invited Rong-han a piece of cake to increase a little brotherly affection. Since the Chinese boss stole Ju Yong's goods without getting them, he can only hide and run like a dog, trying to request aid to be able to return to China before being caught by Ju Yong. Meanwhile, Dong-ju is with Hannah, guarding the door where the florist lives. Man-sik worries and tells Dong-ju to go to the hospital for more checkups, but he refuses to listen. Jae-hong calls to report to Man-sik that he has found Yuna while she was shopping at the convenience store. So the whole team is gathered at Kim's house, telling her that if she helps Ju Yong hide his position, she will also be considered a wanted criminal. As long as she says it, the police will definitely protect her to the end. So Kim confesses that Ju Yong really wants her to leave this country with him. The place he scheduled is the Victory Hotel. The whole team immediately sets out for Ju Yong's meeting point. But when Dong-ju and Jae-hong look from the outside, the people who come are not Ju Yong, but people who look very strange. Today, there is a meeting of large shareholders gathering here. Jae-hong and Dong-ju immediately gather with their team. It seems that Ju Yong is trying to sell something to this group of people, so they are gathered here, so a crowded place. So the whole team starts to divide the work for each other to monitor further. Dong-ju and Jong Hyeon will go to the meeting hall. Jae-hong and Hannah will pay attention to Kim in case Ju Yong comes. Man-sik starts to go around to investigate and realizes that there is a familiar voice of a security guard at this place that is exactly like the one who fought with Man-sik. Hannah, going around, also discovers a pile of white powder scattered on the floor. She calls Yeon-ha, and she says that it is sodium. Just as Ji-hong isn't paying attention, Kim immediately runs out of the hotel building and gets into a taxi. After the whole group gathers together, because they know that Kim has left here, Yeon-ha calls and tells the whole group that the white substance that Hana found, although it doesn't cause an explosion, but if it combines with water, it will create hydrogen, a type of toxic biological gas that can completely kill people and is flammable. Then it can also cause a large explosion. Could it be that the fifth truck has transported that explosive substance to this place to collapse this building? If the high-ranking officials are killed, most of the Insung system will be completely paralyzed, which is also the way for Ju Yong to be able to escape the country very safely. So the whole team immediately runs into the meeting hall, telling everyone to leave soon before the bomb explodes. But no one believes, because there is Dong-ju here, a person who is wanted on TV. Ju Yong on this side orders to start turning off the lights and closing all the doors. The toxic gas starts to spray into the meeting hall. Then this group of people knows fear and runs away from there. The doors are currently all closed, where else to call with shouting. Indeed, the stupid high-ranking officials don't listen to others, so now they are fighting for each mask. One Dong-ju, to be able to free everyone, takes his body and breaks the glass door. However, the more urgent thing is that he can't let that sodium contact water. Otherwise, everything will be more dangerous. When those Quan Chuks only know how to complain about Jae-hong blocking the exit, he angrily yells at everyone to be silent. It would be good if you knew how to shut your mouth and go down like a polite person. So the stupid officials are willing to go in a row without crowding, until everyone goes down to the parking basement. The door to the basement has been blocked, causing Man-sik to be extremely worried about whether Ju Yong has set a bomb outside that door or not. The door outside starts to be opened. Everyone gradually retreats in surprise. The chief director has mobilized people to come here, and decides not to become a weak person who gives in under Ju Yong's hand. This time, he saved all these high-ranking officials. He shouts to go home and boasts that he is the greatest police chief of all time. Luckily, before that, Dong-ju had told the chief that this would be an opportunity for his reputation to become increasingly famous. So, in front of his boasting and unwillingness to be constrained, the name Ju Yong, the chief director, also decides to mobilize the entire police force. Those veteran athletes, all, are starting to wear their inherent confidence to be able to protect this Insung area from the thugs, and protect the people from the danger. Currently, Ju Yong is driving a red car speeding on the highway. Hannah and her police team are ready again to be able to aim at Ju Yong really accurately, successfully drilling the tire of Ju Yong. However, when Ji-hong runs up there, it's just a car that distracts the underling. Ju Yong is really in the black car, with license plate 70B1632. Bald Eagle Guangxi calls Dong-ju, reporting Ju Yong is on the way to the Russian ship, about to leave the port. We must hurry up before he can escape. Arriving at a warehouse scheduled, Ju Yong takes things from Kim, and then has people kill her without a bit of hesitation. And Man-sik on this side, searching, also meets that guy who fought with him. He decides to have a life and death match with him this time. Meanwhile, Jae-hong also meets the Russian bear enemy from last time, and he also has to admit that this bear is really healthy, when he can defeat a person as big as Jae Hong. Ju Yong thought that he could escape In Sung easily, but a gang of masked gangsters suddenly appeared and controlled him, taking him back for interrogation. And Dongju, with Jong Hyan, also discovered the body of Kim just now, and he decides with Jong Hyan to find him before he harms anyone else. Even Dongju also discovers Ju Yong's car, so he and Jong Hyan go deep inside to see what's up. Seeing that the thugs are beating Ju Yong brutally, Dongju steps forward and affirms his ownership with the gangsters. "This guy is my possession, don't you touch him." So to protect Ju Yong, the two Rong Hoing with Dongju have started the fight to balance 1 against 10 extremely well. Jong Hyan tells Dongju to quickly follow Ju Yong and let him be here. Meanwhile, Man Sik on this side is also cool, no less, when he decides to return to his glorious time once again. The bronze medalist athlete in wrestling reappears. He pours all the oil on his body, and the wooden floor starts to have a life and death match with that thug. Jae Hong, although it's a bit difficult, has also learned the dirty trick a bit, then uses the trick to make him fly 10 away. Ju Yong thought that he would live, but avoid this group. Then another group came to settle the score with him. In front of this group of thugs, he has no power to resist. He just lets Dongju come out to protect him. Dongju tells Ju Yong to run first, so he can deal with this group. Meanwhile, Ju Yong on the inside has also eliminated the remaining subordinates. But Ju Yong has no strength to run anymore. He is given a very painful hit by that middle person. Jong Hyan has appeared here. That middle person owes old debts and new debts. Jong Hyan decides to have a rematch with him. After 3 times of fighting, when Dongju is a bit tired, Hannah appears and starts to snipe at the legs of each guy, looking extremely great. Jae Hong shows off his disc throwing skills, throwing the Russian name away and proudly saying, "I am the father of Korean children." The disc throwing slap also completely concludes that big Russian bear. Man Sik on this side also wins his victory, after accidentally punching the thug in the sensitive area once, and then throws him backwards and celebrates the victory. Jong Hyan has also dealt with the middle person handcuffing him, and taking him back to the station to eat prison food. And Dongju tries to chase Ju Yong, only seeing him sitting panting on the ship to Russia, about to die. Dongju asks why he could betray the woman who has always helped him. Ju Yong says that his heart is also empty. However, the benefits are always put first. Dongju angrily punches him straight in the face. "You know that I can also kill people now." Each punch, Dongju shouts, "You don't have anyone by your side, there is no one to ask and listen. Shut this up, you bastard. I need this jaw to be intact before I see the judge." Dongju finally punches the knockout punch. However, Ju Yong is still not willing to give in so easily, and he throws himself into the sea in front of Dongju's surprise. However, the name he has been searching for so long, how can Dongju let it go so easily? Dongju swims excellently and successfully pulls Ju Yong ashore. After this battle, Hannah's mother comes to her house to introduce a new handsome guy to her. However, Hannah has refused and said that she also has a man who looks very handsome. Dongju, since capturing Ju Yong, has returned to the aunt's restaurant to help her manage, and he has also recovered from his injuries quite well. However, Dongju still doesn't forget to visit Ju Yong in prison. He looks quite haggard recently, probably because he misses Dongju so much that he can't eat or sleep. Dongju fears that Ju Yong will starve to death, so he has also made a portion of food for him, as a thank you for making him an officer like now. He tells Dongju that this world will still have people with greed like him appear. Dongju says that as long as there is one person, that person will also be locked up like him. This meal is also the last meal that Ju Yong enjoys, because right on that night, he has to face the death penalty of other evil people secretly killing him. And Dongju's team for completing the task of overthrowing the most evil boss. Everyone is honored with the highest medal. The feeling is more precious than the badge that everyone has achieved before. The movie ends. Thank you for watching.